You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM. You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Help, come and put a hand, come and wipe away the blight and see what the plight that befall the man of this land. What's going on here? I would like to know why the whole world is in a turmoil. So it look as if we fire God from the job and give the work to the Beelzebub. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. You think I have to never like I understand. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. You think I'm gonna never like I understand. Like if Satan in control of running the land. Hey man, oh man. There's only wars and rumors of wars. Incurable disease go from sea to seas and they happen without a cause. Strange phenomena now happen everywhere. The callousness of this world has the world in fear. Politics and weaponry have taken its toll. They have the whole world out of control. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing that happen here, well I can understand like it. Oh yes man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing that happen here, well I can understand like it. Satan in control of running the land. Oh man. Get at ease, we turn to religion, but then in our quest to do our best we end up in real confusion. Some religious leaders so phony and vain, all our religious morals to go down the drain. Their materialism make them feel them is Lord, robbing the world in the name of God. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing we're going on here, well I can understand that the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The things that happen here, well I can understand. Like he Satan in control of running the land. Oh man. Let's take control. Let's reconstruct the world. Sift out all parasites, phonies and blights. What is wrong? Let us make it right. Stop this social, moral and religious decay. Our world wasn't meant to be this way. For heaven's sake, let's not fall for the seat. Put God back in the driver's seat. Man, the devil have a hand in running running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing we're going on here, well, I can't understand. The devil have a hand in running the land. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. The thing what's going on here, man, I can't understand. Like if Satan in control of running the land. Oh, man. Oh, man. The devil have a hand. The devil have a hand. Oh, yes. In running the land. The devil have a hand. The devil have a hand. The thing what happened here, I can understand. Like the Satan in control, I run in the land. We quarrel and we fight. We are doing right. Oh yes, the devil have a hand in running the land. We forget what's good, not doing the things we should. Ah, yes man, the Satan in control, I run in the land. I can't understand why. I can't understand. Oh yes man. Corrupt preachers, phony preachers, bogus leaders, Satan workers. Oh yes man, I can't understand. Well I can't understand. Satan in control, I run in the land. Place of worship, show no friendship. Only money. That's all they see. I can't understand. Come on, man. Yes, man. I mean, the devil have a hand in running the land, Lord. The devil have a hand in running the land, man. I go down there where I can understand, like Satan in control of running the land.
Sat down and thinking, the question I'm asking, is Pharaoh still existing? As he before, resembling an Israelite, not being treated right, enslaved day and night. We just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. Be like the Israelites still in pain. We just can't go on this way. So send us another Moses again. We just can't go on this way. Oh oh, oh oh oh. Oh oh, oh oh oh. Lord, look around, you'll see the Pharaoh mentality ruling universally. Leaders promoting their ego, being a modern Pharaoh, tyrannies they manifest. We just can't go this way. We just can't go this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go this way. Time to make them oppress us pay. We just can't go this way. So we children could see their way. We just can't go this way. Oh oh, oh oh oh. No no, no no no. The poor have to slave night and day for next to nothing pay, so they can't see the way. We don't enjoy equal facility like Pharaoh and company. Brainwashing we say we free. We just can't go this way. We just can't go
much life.
We just can't go on this way.
Not even thinking that we would realize. And if we criticize, we could be ostracized. We don't know who to trust. That's why I say, Lord, please listen to this prayer that comes from before. Please send us another Moses again.
Oh, we just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. Thank you, make them oppress us stay. So the children could see their way. Make them get on their knees and pray. Never be up to judgment day. Just can't make it this way. Please deliver us.
Don't be a parrot in life. A parrot talks way too much, but can't fly high. But an eagle is silent and has the willpower to touch the sky. Here's the 7 mentalities that we can learn from an eagle. Number 1, eagles fly alone at high altitude. Eagles don't fly with sparrows, ravens, and other small birds, meaning stay away from narrow-minded people, those that bring you down. Eagles fly with eagles. There's a saying that goes like this: people you hang around will eventually determine the person you become. Keep good company. Number 2, eagles have vision. They have the ability to focus on something as far as 5 kilometers away. No matter what the obstacles, the eagle will not move his focus from the prey until he grabs it. Meaning, have a vision and remain focused in your life. No matter what the obstacles and challenges you may face, don't give up and you will succeed. Number 3, eagles are fearless. An eagle will never surrender to the size or strength of its prey. It will always give a fight to win its prey or regain its territory, meaning no matter what the size or big your problems are, don't give up. Instead, face it. Successful people are fearless. They face problems head on. Number 4, eagles are tenacious. Eagles love storm. When clouds gather, the eagles get excited. The eagles use the storm wind to lift themselves higher. Once it finds the wind of the storm, the eagles use the raging storm to lift itself above the clouds. This gives the eagle the opportunity to glide and rest its wings. In the meantime, all the other birds hide in the branches and leaves of the tree, meaning achievers are not afraid of challenges. Rather, they relish in them and use them for profitability. Number 5, eagles never eat dead things. Eagles never eat dead meat. In other words, an eagle does not scavenge. It only eats the meat from the prey it kills itself. Meaning, do not rely on your past success. Keep looking for new frontiers to conquer. Leave your past where it belongs, in the past. Number 6, eagles prepare for training. They remove the feather and the soft grass in the nest so that the young ones get uncomfortable in preparation for flying. And eventually, they fly when it becomes too unbearable to stay in the nest. Meaning, leave your comfort zone. There is no growth there. Last but not least, Number 7. Eagles possess vitality. When the eagle grows old, his feathers become weak and cannot take him as fast and as high as it should. This makes him weak and could make him die, so he retires to a place far away in the mountains. And while there, he plucks out the weak feathers in his body and breaks his beak and his claws against the rocks until he is completely bare. A very bloody and painful process. Then he stays in his hiding place until he has grown new feathers, new beaks and claws, and then comes out flying higher than ever before. Meaning, we occasionally need to shed off old habits, no matter how difficult. Things that burden us or add no value to our lives should be let go of.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? Lord Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother. Cover my sister. Them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. salvation. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Let me say a special hello to all of WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And you know what we always do it here in the village, ladies and gentlemen? We welcome each and everyone in the village. We originate, we don't imitate. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you have on a mauve t-shirt, you have on a burgundy t-shirt, you have on a gray t-shirt, you have on a salmon t-shirt. Yeah, a salmon t-shirt. Each and everyone is welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets. That's Diana, Ansem, and Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter what planet you're from Mazatanians, Venuranians, Xenoranians, Sonaranians. Each and everyone is welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Let me say a special welcome to 1/3 of the DAT Triplets. No other than my good buddy, Nisbet. Yes, I passed on Nisbet Lane here recently in New Jersey. I got to find out if he knows anything about that. My good friend from Palaseco High School. Yes, he went to Palaseco High School by way of Marabella. No, it's not Marabella. It's Marabella. And of course, some people say he is originally from Celibia when he says Sally Bay. Yes, it's Sally Bay. Yes, so going all the way from Sally Bay to Marabella to Palaseco and back, what a journey. No other than the one and only one, Thomas E., the commissioner in Newark, Marshall Nisbet, boy. Tommy, well,
Good evening, my friend, and happy Independence Day to you. Should I say?
thank you very
Everyone in
kind.
the chat who is celebrating, happy Independence Day to you also. It's a pleasure being here. It's a different kind of day. Sunaranius and Rainaranius.
Yeah, yeah, all kind of thing. You know, Tommy, today is a really monumental occasion in my life, and
Oh yes, it's momentous. I do agree. I do
yeah,
agree. It's your anniversary
it's my 46th anniversary of coming to the United
coming to
States,
America.
coming to America, leaving Schumacher, Clavantel with my other three siblings and our one grip. You know, back then we had a grip.
Boy, do I know.
Boy,
My 51st anniversary is weekend coming up on the 8th, 9th, one of them days there. Yeah.
okay,
4
what
days.
anniversary will that be?
51.
Oh God, 51. Boy, boy, you get me by half a decade, boy.
Boy, oh,
You get me by half a decade, and Diana should be joining us shortly. So, so you know, Tommy, it's interesting, right, Tommy? I don't know how you feel about Sally Bay or Celibia, where you grew up,
well,
right?
I grew up in Marabella, but I was born in Sally Bear and spent all my school vacations there. Like we went there for Christmas, we went there for um, summer holidays. We didn't call it, we say August holidays at that time.
Right. So let
And
me say
hey,
Marabella.
but I must say, I spent 4 years with my grandmother from the age of 4 to the age of 8 up in Celibia.
Right.
So I that's the first place I went to school, as a matter of fact.
Oh, right. So Tommy, you know what's interesting, right, is that when I left Chumakak on July 4th, 1977, um, basically, you know, my parents made a decision to, you know, send for us to come to the United States of America. And when I left, and back then, Tommy, you know, they used to have a waving gallery in the airport. Remember
Oh
that?
boy, do I remember? Let me tell you something. When I that glorious Saturday when I left Trinidad, well, I was pretty popular in the neighborhood, I must say. So my friends, all my friends in the neighborhood rented a minivan. It wasn't Maxi in them days, it was a van, a minivan, because Maxi weren't they didn't have Maxis at that time, or Maxis weren't popular, so to speak.
Correct is right. Correct is right.
So my whole clip from my neighborhood rented a minivan and they came to the airport. I was overwhelmed. When I got up on the step, I could just look in the waving gallery and wave because I could see them all waving, man. It was something.
You
Because
know,
I was going to America, I was going to the land of milk and honey, to the promised land, and I was going to hit some sixes to the boundary.
yeah, he was going to find some gold on the streets, man.
Yeah.
You're going to find some, you know, ducats on the streets.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
And it's interesting to me that, you know, when we left Chumakak, basically we left with just me and my other three siblings. You know, we had a driver who used to, you know, if my mother was coming back to Trinidad, you know, he'll hire him for us to go to the airport and collect her and bring her back and so on and so forth, right? If she ever was coming back. So the
Mm-hmm.
driver come and pick us up, boy. And Tommy, I ain't lying to you. You could see people out in the gallery because the planet them had galleries.
Right.
People out in the gallery, boy, and you could see it's like you could see in their face they like telling
That's
themselves,
a
boy,
sad day.
yeah, it was a sad day, boy. They say, boy, I wished one day, boy, we could be in that position. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, growing up in Chumakak and you know, being not poor in from a meal perspective or a close perspective, but poor from an economic perspective. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because we have 3 square meals. There are people living in the world that didn't have 3 square meals back then. You understand? We got 3 square meals every day. And if we didn't get meals, we could have go pick mango, we pick chenet, we pick plum. There was
Right.
always something that we could go to get to eat. We never starving. And I saw these people looking at us, boy. And I remember I had my one brown suit. I never forget that.
Hmm.
And we got in the car, boy, and we were driving to the airport. It was like one of the happiest days of my life.
Hmm.
And Tommy, is interesting, huh? Today's the SCA, right? And I want to talk about if it's time in Trinidad and Tobago that we get rid of the SCA.
It's been time to abandon that.
Wow,
That's
wow.
my opinion for a while. It's been time to abandon SCA in Trinidad for quite a while now because, as far as I'm concerned, it creates more division and corruption.
Damn, Tommy, boy, you're on the ball there, boy. Because I feel that time for us to get rid of the SCA too.
Well, common entrance was the reason why my mother left Trinidad because I passed common entrance, living in Marble, going to Point of Peace School. Passed common entrance from Point of Peace School, and they sent me all the way the hell to Palo Seco. My mother didn't know anybody; she knew no one, so she was pained. She tried to go to see if she could go to talk to somebody about getting me closer, but she wasn't in the loop, so she couldn't get anything done. There were other students who started off who they sent the distance. For example, if I may call his name, there's this one student who lived in Pleasantville. He was a Montano, and he was sent to Palo Seco too. Within record time, he was out of there, and he was going to school closer to home.
You mean Albert family was prestigious even back then, right?
Yeah, he was a Montano. I could probably call his name. His name was Dennis Montano. He started school with us there in Palo. Probably
You
went
it's interesting, Tommy, that you say that, right? I started school at Diego Martin Junior Secondary. I had a trek from Chumaka Claventil all the way down to Diego Martin Junior Secondary. But Tommy, back to the story. So we left Chumaka on the way to the airport. We was like, man, this is really it, boy. This is something. And Tommy, I never forget that day, boy. When we reached to John F. Kennedy Airport, I told myself, I says, Aunt Slim boy, this is the opportunity to start all over, to start afresh and make something of your life. Don't blow it. Whatever you do, don't blow it. Right? Because God has given you a fresh start. The slate clean. Because at Tranquil, once I realized I went and we get we visa and everything, me not no time to go to. I go to school, but me not no time in school, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I already checked out. I checked out about months ago. You understand? So
I actually checked out years, and I was just going through the motion because my mother left. I passed common entrance in '66. So I started school in September of '66. In '67, my mother left. She managed to get a visa and get out. She got a visitor's visa and got out. And in those days, you used to get a green card in record time.
Yeah. Same day, boy. Same day.
No, but I'm saying I got my green card quickly. But I'm saying in my mother's case, she came on a holiday visa and she got sponsored. She got sponsored.
Right.
She got sponsored by people she was working for, and she got through in record time. She was back and forth.
Yep.
My dad joined her. Not long afterwards, my dad joined her, and they both were here in Newark, New Jersey, and they were setting up shop. They bought a house because they know they had 9 children coming. The first batch. I was in the first batch. 3 of us, myself and my 2 sisters. We left Louis because he's right after me. He stayed with the rest of the boys because there's only 2 girls and 7 boys. And I came. Well, I knew. Well, my whole neighborhood knew that Tommy was going to make it because Tommy was popular and Tommy had a lot of ambition. As a matter of fact, I was so ambitious that when I got here, I was playing in this band. It was this band downstairs by me. My father told me there was a band, that he was housing a band in the basement. So as soon as I came, I started playing with the band because I was a hotshot drummer, young and fiery.
Hot Tommy boy.
young and fiery.
HT boy, hot Tommy.
Yeah, so I this is my posture. I'm telling these musicians now. So once I settle down, I saying it's time for us to do recording. This one guy said to me this guy from Sawon, he used to play in the band. He said to me, "You're too damn ambitious. I bet you I slap you.
Mm.
You want to slap me because I'm too ambitious."
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. I begin seeing way down the road where it should be where we should be going. I ain't seen just in the basement practice, and I think in recording studio, I'm making a hit and Justin with Jackson 5 and everybody else out there.
Yeah,
Because
Tommy. Just hold the thought. Let's go to the chat, and bring the people in. So of course, always first in the chat was Nadia. Nadia is first in the chat. Nadia says good night, everyone. Nadia says good night, Anselm. I get red and blue tonight.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
just red and blue tonight. Yeah. Nadia
Wow.
says, Tommy, you get yellow and green tonight, boy.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, Nadia. You're setting them up to win the lottery.
Oh God, that's what it is.
It looks that way.
I what
Yeah,
them colors mean? Yeah, because lottery is over $500 million,
like you set them up to win the lottery, boy.
Yeah,
Nadia, I'll have to compensate you for
yeah, Nadia put
your
Nadia
good
put your
wishes.
percentage in the chat one time, so you have it on record, eh? Nadia, put your percentage on the chat.
50% because you set them up to win the lottery there, Nadia.
Yeah. That boy, I might have to get Tommy $2 to play with him, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
Just in
Nadia.
case. Yeah.
Nadia, reading your vibes and it's from my lips to God's.
Oh God, boy. Yeah, boy, Tommy, boy. And Tommy's both of them, right? It's both Mega and Power, right?
Yeah, boy. Nobody can win.
Nobody win, boy. Oh good. Mega and Power, boy. Only the lotto here in America will be over 500 million. Well, yeah, I think it should be. Both Mega and Power. Imagine you win both of them, Tommy, boy, you're going to buy Trinidad.
Nah, I ain't buying Trinidad.
But Tommy, I just said that, Tommy, boy. I was thinking to myself, boy. I was saying that if something like that should happen, right? I going back to my community, Tommy, and I want to make it like some one of them place in Dubai.
I'm gonna set up Celibia because that's where I really love in Trinidad.
I will set up Chumakak.
Because Marbella is set already. Marbella remember Marbella had Point of Pierre and Texaco and Petrotrin and all of that developed Marbella. But Celibia is still very much underdeveloped. Yet you don't want to develop it too much to make it get it too bright and let it get out of hand. But you need to set it right with with the amenities and the things that make living easy and comfortable, so to speak. But ultimately, Tobago is where I'll set my sail.
Correct is right. Tobago is where it is. Nadia says good night to Keisha, Lana Rose, Miss Kuva, Denise G. Capiza. Nadia splicing. She's splicing a white and look like black, boy. Black in there. Yeah. So Nadia says good night, Rennie Mohammed, Ken John, Troy Smith, Ellis, Rajvi, Ulrich, good night. All right, folks. Yeah, we come into it. Second in the village was
Dr.
no other than the Love Doctor. Good night, village family. Love in the house. Warm love is all I bring you. Bringing warm love today, but yes.
Yes,
Next
indeed.
up, respect to the panel, Mr. Walls, Lady D, Mr. Tommy. Yeah.
Respect, Rennie, respect.
And he says, sending out respectable, remarkable, responsible love to all the ladies. And here it is, folks. We go get introduction for Rennie soon, man. No, yes. Here it is, folks. Life, what you make of it. With whom do you stand or sit? Life is remarkable as long as the people in it make it comfortable. Life is yours live it nice, do it twice. Yeah. We ain't finished. We ain't finished yet, folks. We ain't finished yet. We have a second stanza. What else call it? A second stanza or a second verse?
Well, I don't know how many verses were in the first one.
A verse. Well, a verse is not like a verse is like a sentence or a paragraph. It could be a whole paragraph, right?
No, a verse could be a sentence.
Like if you have 10, if you have 5 words, that is a verse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll stop the world and melt with you. That's one verse.
Okay.
There's
All right.
nothing else I won't do. That's the second verse.
All right. All right. So let's go on. It says, time given to us for free, some for you, some for me. Do good things with it, make it last, waste it, and it will be tucked away in the past. Does not cost a dime, nothing makes up for lost time. Santi Manite. Yeah, Rennie.
Yeah, Rennie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rennie.
You continue to hit it out the park, man. Yeah. You know, West Indies looking for some good batsmen. You know. Imagine this, boy. West Indies are Scotland and Netherlands beating them in cricket. What have we come to in cricket in the Caribbean? You know, Tommy.
No, but even something more frightening. Would you believe the USA gave Trinidad 6?
No. Well, that. I think that's a little more understood in football.
6 to the Soca Warriors, boy. 6 goals, nil.
Yeah. I think that's
painful, man.
I know it's painful. I watched the game, and I saying to myself, but I say, oh, let's just score one goal now. Score one now. Score. But the coach say you're gonna resign. The coach supposed to resign.
Yeah.
But Tommy, what it is that, and we're gonna get back to the chat real quick. What it is about? You think it's time, just like in time we get rid of the SCA, maybe in time that we go back to each country for themselves in cricket, just like how we have in track and field. We don't have a West Indies team. Right?
In football, we don't have a West Indies team either.
In football, we don't have a West Indies team. In many sports, in many Olympic sports, we don't have a West Indies team. Maybe it's time that, but you think we could compete with a country like, you think Trinidad have 1.4 million could compete with a country like India where there are millions and millions of people? You think they could compete with Pakistan? You think they could compete with Sri Lanka? Them countries that are millions and millions and Trinidad only are 1.4? Don't you think that's why they kind of got the West Indies team as opposed to just...
Actually, I used to think that even in soccer, if we had a Caribbean soccer team, we'd be a stronger unit than each country. You know, I used to think that. And I still think for the cricket, we have shown that united and with good management and proper discipline, we can be a force to be reckoned with, like we were in the past. It's just that we fell down on the field right now.
But Tommy, it has been years now since we have been really good, you know. There have been years now, you know.
I know, because the discipline isn't the same as it once was.
Boy. You know, Tommy, what I like them to do, boy, I like them to give me the job to be the trainer to get them guys fit.
Yeah, because, you know, it's a discipline issue.
Correct is right.
It's
I could guarantee you, me and Axin here, I'm telling you, I will have them West Indies players very fit. So when time comes for them to feel, they can get to the ball quickly. When they have to make catch, they can catch the ball, get to the ball and make the catch, whatever they have to do. I think I can. I ain't saying I know cricket at all, yeah? You know, because, you know, some people that say, you know, if you get involved with a steel band, you have to be able to play pan in order to get involved with a steel band.
But if you're a pianist and you know music, you can work with a steel band very effectively. The point I'm trying to make is that there are many different aspects of teamwork. And if you were to subdivide it, or should I say segment it, and have specific persons handling different aspects of the development, you probably would get greater results than having one person overworked trying to do everything. You with me?
Yeah, no, I'm fully with you. I'm with you. Mean Gene says, hope all having a great day. Don't eat too much happy July 4th. Me ain't doing nothing on July 4th, nah.
I ain't do a thing either.
Me ain't do nothing. My Chumakanian friend, Curtis Montresard. Good night, everyone. He inside. Now, Ingrid P. Jack. Ingrid P. Jack is new here, a newbie on board. Ingrid, where are you joining us from? And folks, can we say welcome to Ingrid? Ingrid P. Jack, a newbie on board. She have a name.
Welcome, Ingrid. But Jack is a Tobago name.
But I was now saying, Jack is a Tobago name. I wonder if she related to Joel Jack, boy.
Or Ashworth.
Yeah, boy. That's a Tobago thing there, Yeah, highly inside. Wataks. Blessings. Trinidad Margot, you're inside as well. Happy 4th to all. So if you are outside of Trinidad and Tobago, how long have you been outside of Trinidad and Tobago? Oh God. Eileen says, every 2 days I look forward to the show, but I never look forward to Trinidad and Tobago getting worse by the second. That's true,
Yeah, but it's painful.
It's painful, boy. Painful.
I mean, remember we out here have to face everybody else,
It's painful, boy. And people just say, boy, when I say I leave Trinidad 46 years ago, and when I go back to Chumakak, it is worse than when it there has been, I can say this. No, I can't say that. The improvement that you like to see, you just don't see it. Right? I don't want to say there's no improvement. That's why they had the roof blowing off.
Yep.
You understand?
Lack of adequate maintenance.
Tommy, you are so correct. And Tommy, the thing about it is, the building have been painted in over a decade. And when you say these things, people say you are against the P&M.
But the thing is that is an indicator as to how the real estate is being managed or handled or maintained or not maintained.
Yeah.
Or mismanaged.
Yeah, I mean, and Tommy, what does it take for them to hire a contractor in order for them to maintain those buildings? Have a person who maintain every 5 years, you get them a paint job, right? Every year or so, you do an inspection of the roof just to see, no termites in the roof, whatever it is. And Tommy, think about this, right? You see, what we need is a proactive government. Them buildings, Tommy, when you going from any part at Trinidad, you have to go to Port of Spain. You have to pass on the Eastern Main Road.
Right.
If you have to pass on the highway, you must look up to your right to see them buildings. Think about this.
On the EMR.
Yes, correct. Those buildings, Tommy, can be a place where you can advertise. You can put big advertisements on top of those buildings.
And charge someone.
Correct. Charge.
Put a billboard.
Put a billboard on it. Charge. But Tommy, I glad they didn't put no billboard, because that thing would have blown on like how that roof blow off. Right? Right? Just like how the roof blow off.
Well, the thing is, if they put a billboard and someone is paying for advertising, and from time to time there are different persons advertising, that means that there will be more action or interaction with the facility, and the chances of someone observing that things aren't right is and should be greater. That's my opinion.
No, I agree with that, and just these little innovative ideas that it seemed like if they're bankrupt of ideas.
Not just that. Just doing that would create an income stream that could go into maintenance of the facility.
Correct. You have a take that money and put it back into the community. The community have a sports day, help them out with that sports day. That money could go right back into the community.
Or go to maintain the building.
Yes, well, there are three now because the one was burned down the other day. There are 3 buildings. I mean, I mean, to me, that's easy. That's an easy thing. right? Look here in America. We pass the highway, that billboards all over the place.
That's
All
right.
over the place. The higher the better. The higher the better.
True.
Right? You could have neon things up there. And I mean, come on. And Tommy, I wanted to add something, before I forget. Tommy, when I came to this country in 1977, I saw Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy was a mess.
Oh boy.
Was a mess.
Was it
Do or die
combat zone?
Bed-Stuy, they used to call it.
Remember Billy Joel had a song? The combat zone, he called it, they say, you may be right, I may be crazy.
Yes.
I was standing in the combat zone. I rode through went through Bedford style alone. I rode my motorcycle in the rain.
You know what they used to tell me, Tommy, when I went to college? They used to say, the high school I went to was in Bed-Stuy. They used to say, you used to go to school with a gun? I said, what do you mean?
77 day was rough, man.
Man, you telling me, man? I had to take the train, and then I wasn't zoned for that school, eh? The only reason why I went to that school is because that was the best track and field school in the state. And I wanted to go to the best track and field school so I could have an opportunity to get a track and field scholarship.
What school was that? Boys and girls?
Boys and girls high school. I went there for 1 year. 1 year. I was a super senior. I was the oldest person in school at that time. Well, one of the oldest. Right? And I mean, I never had no problem. Them is the time when you could get a brownstone for $50,000 without a problem.
Yep.
You can't even pay under $1 million now for a brownstone in Bed-Stuy. And Tommy, I wanted to add that. Tommy, the same thing with Newark. I've seen how Newark have revitalized itself from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. You see small improvement, and then the improvement becomes like unbelievable. I remember downtown when there used to be hamburgers downtown. Right? I bought my first 19-inch Quasar television when I was in college at Bamberger's downtown Newark.
Right.
I'll never forget that.
Right? You want to hear something? A friend of mine has a house, or had a house not far from where I am right now, that he paid $62,000 for in 1984.
Okay.
That house is up for sale. He has since sold it, of course. That house is up for sale right now. You know how much it's selling for?
700,000.
Well, you went a little bit above. It's selling for over $500,000, which is over 500,000.
Okay. Yeah.
So from 1984 to now, from 62,000, and I'm talking about a real nice house, huh?
Yeah, I remember when my wife and I bought our first house. We bought our first house in Newark. We paid $62,000 for it, and we made it into a 3-family house. So we had a basement. We had a tenant in the basement. We had a tenant on the second floor. We had a tenant on the third floor. Right? And we renovated that. We gutted that whole house. Gutted. And start all over afresh. Because you're newly married and thing, and we gutted the whole house and we start over afresh. Yeah, $62,000. I never forget that. And that was the first time, owning a house, because in Trinidad and Tobago we lived in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right. If I tell you what I paid for my first house, you wouldn't believe it. In 1980, I paid $30,000 for a house in Irvington.
Oh, in Irvington. Yeah. We paid $62,000. What year was that, boy?
And in 84, I paid $78,000 for one in Ivy Hill.
Yeah. And what time? When? 80 what?
84.
Oh, 84. Because I finished it in 82. So in 84, I was in Brooklyn, and just moved back to Brooklyn for a few years, got married, and then I moved back to Newark, and so I've seen the improvement in Newark. I've seen the improvement in East Orange. I've seen the improvement in Orange. I've seen the improvement in Irvington. Right? And I would expect to be those type of improvements in Laventille and environs. especially under a party that have no that especially under a party where the people have never forsaken that party, right? But it doesn't seem to be like that. So Hailey says a man reached Trinidad Sunday and dead Monday. Boy, it can't get worse.
Who's that?
Hailey says some person reached Trinidad Sunday and dead Monday. So Trinidad Margot says her anniversary was July 1st, 33 years ago. Wow.
Wow.
Interesting.
Happy
Wow.
anniversary, Margot.
Yeah, happy anniversary to you, yeah, Margot. Yeah. Vonnie says, good night, ladies. Nadia, Hailey, Joan, Takesha, Lana. Not forgetting the storm. You all enjoy the evening. Enjoy the rest of the day. Blessings. Thank you. Thank you, Vonnie.
Yeah, but the reason why our parents had us traveling this summer is because we were coming from a hot place and they didn't want us to get the shock of the winter coming in right away in the cold.
Mm. Oh, okay. Okay, so I used to love spending summer holidays in, where is that? I don't know where that is, you know. Oh, Navet. Oh,
Yeah,
Navet.
Yeah, Navet, that is in the south.
Where that is?
Navet is near San Fernando.
There's a place, another Navet Dam somewhere?
Yeah, there's a dam, but Navet is a place near San Fernando or on the
Okay.
outskirts of San Fernando.
All right. Every day was spent looking for a new river spot to swim. All right. All right. Nadia says, good night, everyone. Vonnie says, can anyone in the chat state the benefits coming out from the Caribbean Heads of State meeting taking place presently? And the approximate cost dollars to citizens of TNT? I even wasting my time with that.
Caribbean Heads of States is what, CARICOM or CHOGUM or whatever they call it. What is that again?
You know, to be honest,
you are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County.
You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in New Jersey for talk, news, sports, and information from the Caribbean.
So, folks, let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village of the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is only a power play to get our sympathy. It's not about African, it's neither East Indian. It had nothing to do with anybody's religion. Kamaluddin is a Muslim, Mahathir Christian to the brim. Yet Montano the mulatto, different race, same party, oh no. Johnny Milton and Rex Awan are two Chinese politicians, and while both of them love PNM, Brian Whiteton had a problem. Them French Creoles in St. Anne's, Marabal and St. Clair, tell them they don't know allegiance or no party here. Right through, rich men just be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. The name Steve Ferguson is really an East Indian who with Ishak Galbaran sing. Both parties they financing. Joey Saw and Emil Elias, a PNM Lebanese. And yet Saka of the same cast helps UNC pay their fees. Syrian businessman John Rahel, PNM make him mayor. An African wave mark as well, UNC made him minister. PNM's fundraising dinner had businessmen of all color. So it's only Chupidi, you and me. It's PNM and UNC. Alive.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Trinidad Margot says orange t-shirt here. If it's an orange t-shirt, that means it's pep, right?
Wow.
Right, Trinidad Margot?
She would know.
So, yeah, ID says Navid boy. You know, Vonnie, I hear your question, but I really can't help you with respect to what's going on in Trinidad with respect to that. I really haven't been paying attention. I'll be honest. Keisha, good night to you. Good night, Ansem, Tommy, Diana, the Storm. Yeah. Keisha says good night, everyone in the village. Keisha says only love in the village, no room for hate, just or negativity, just love. Yeah. Bonnie says to Keisha, what's cooking? How things going, my dear? The kids okay? You notice Ansem has the yellow one. You go on here and see, not surprised. Oh God. Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a whole bunch of dotishness.
Oh God. When he said I don't buy lotto tickets, even living in Canada, I thank God for the goodness and blessings. I rather have good health than winning the lotto. I agree with you, you know, Bonnie. Eh?
But how about having both?
Takisha says, Ansem, is that the sun shining on your side? No, the sun wasn't up today.
No sun or rain here.
We had no sun here. Because Tommy live close to me. We had no sun thing. Rennie says good night to Keisha. Eileen says welcome. Okay, let me plug in my battery here before it dies. Yeah, hold on a minute, guys. Let me just plug this in here. There we go. Yeah, Vonnie says the West needs to replace all them executives from the top president and coaches. We need foreign coaches, managers, instill discipline. You know, Vonnie, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that we need foreign coaches. I think we have excellent coaches in the Caribbean that can do the job just as good because many of them leave the Caribbean and go to India, Pakistan, and all these other places, and they are coaches and are very successful.
Look at Lara.
As an example, you understand? Is that we don't look at our homegrown coaches as being able to be successful with our players. We need to bring somebody from outside. Look at the Soca Warriors, for example, right? Angus Eve, they said he's going to lose his job. Who they want to go and bring back? The fella that was there before. What's his name from Canada? It's Hart.
Yeah, Hart.
Yeah, they want to bring him back. What are you bringing him back for? He's already. What are you bringing him back for?
The thing is that it seems as though you don't get respect when you're from within.
And they pay you half of what they pay the foreigner.
You don't get the respect. You don't get the support. Because with the right discipline, and if you know your subject matter and you have a good system in place, you're supposed to get results. But the discipline is poor.
The discipline is poor. And it seemed that we seem to accept mediocrity. But you see, Tommy, on the other side too, whenever we are successful, the successful athletes especially get criticized. For example, if you go to Olympics and you win a bronze medal, the person will say, well, how come you didn't win the gold medal? Right? Now, think about it. When you go to the Olympics, there's 9 finalists. If it's 9 lanes, there's 9 finalists in the race. Right? There's a possibility you could have a tie, but normally only 3 individuals win a medal.
That's right.
So if you get a medal in the World Championships or in the Olympics, you have done splendiferous. You remember when Junior Regello says, don't waste your time sending them people to the Olympics?
Right.
What are we wasting the money for? He doesn't understand. He's absolutely clueless. He's clueless. Right? So, and then, I mean, I was made to understand that when Tim Gopi Singh was Minister of Education, there was a push under him to take sports out of school. I don't know how true that is, but there was a sports by him to take. Really? You have to be a madman. You have to be a mad scientist to want to take sports out of school. What kind of doctor he was again? He was a V doctor.
Anyway, the push should be to take the SCA out of schools.
Correct is right, and we want to get into that, Tommy. Hailey, you are so correct. It pains me to see our beloved Trinidad in this state. We are not even safe in our homes, yet you go hear the PNM loyalists defending them on the PNM radio station 91.9. Yeah? Rennie says the puppet who's ruling the land. Who's the puppet, Rennie? Who's the puppet? Hailey, I have this experience going through some situation. I don't even go out at night. Oh, God. Man. So Ingrid Jack says, Ingrid is from St. Augustine, born to Tobago roots by marriage. Oh. So she's a Jack by marriage. Okay. All right. From St. Augustine, she from Diana neck of the woods. Yeah. Vonnie say, I have a house for sale in Trinidad. You interested? What part of Trinidad, Vonnie? I always had a thing for Lange Park, right? When I see the type of houses they have down there, but I say, oh, good. You know, going up and going down on the highway, and I look in Lange Park and I see them houses there, but I say, well, you know, I think I could live there, you know. But I like Valsin too, eh? I like Valsin very much. Remember, I grew up in Chumakak, eh? So the only time I used to know them places when I drive by.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't know nothing about Goodwood Park and all them places. You understand? And Westmoreland and all them places. I used to hear about them, but I really didn't know about them. Is as I grew older. You know, Tommy, it's funny, right? One year I went to Trinidad. I'm not gonna call the person's name. You know, once we left Chumakak, there was no place to stay. And I left Chumakak when I was a teenager.
Right.
And I went back Trinidad. And the PNM was in power. Patrick Manning was the prime minister at that time. And a friend of mine's knew a minister very well. And I end up staying by the minister. Right? I'm not going to call his name.
Okay.
And Tommy, I was amazed and shocked that when the minister went into his bedroom, there was a steel gate that he actually locked the gate for him to go in his bedroom.
So God forbid there's a fire in that house. What happens?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure his windows would have had steel bars on it too.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, Tommy, I was shocked. I was amazed. And listen, this is the first time I knew about a gated community too. I had no clue. And you know, the funny thing is that when I telling people I didn't know about gated community, they say, but wait, but you grew up in China, you know about gated community. You see, people don't understand.
That came later.
The perimeter for me was Chumakak, maybe, next Lavantil, Mova, Bataria, not even Aranguez, right? So that was it for me. That was my scope. And I really wasn't going in Port of Spain that much. You understand? Unless I had to go to school. But that was it. So when
Yeah,
I
and I'm sure in the early 70s, gated communities weren't popular.
yeah, I had no clue there were gated communities in Trinidad. None. None. None.
The only gate that I remember when I was young was going into the oil fields. You had to go through a guard at the gate.
Yeah. So I get a message here. Somebody says correct walls. He wanted to remove it. You could only do sports as a after school activities. That fella is a madman. He was a mad scientist. I could tell you that. You have to be a mad scientist. You know, in this country, sport plays a, I mean, a, a major role in school. And it's not just one sport, it's lacrosse, it's hockey, it's archery, it's baseball, it's basketball, it's football, it's track and field, it's swimming.
It's
They even
soccer.
have frisbee. Frisbee's a sport too. They have frisbee state championships, and you go tell me you want to remove. Anyway, that is in the past. That is in the past. Yeah, that is in the past. Yeah, yeah. Bonnie says he want to go Grenada to live. Bonnie, I saw what you just said, me. I got to look at it. Because that place, Tommy, I always had interest. When I saw Lange Park, I say, oh God, I like it. When I saw those houses on them,
Mm-hmm.
that was a place was always. And you know the other place too, right? Mocha. Mocha was another place.
Yeah, Boca's nice.
Yeah, boy. When I went up there, but boy, I see all little places like this in Trinidad.
You know what? I love the view from Paramendo.
Boy, Tommy, but let me tell you something, eh? My mother-in-law lives in Lavantil, right? And the view from where she lives, you cannot pay for that view, Tommy.
Wow.
You could see the whole of Port of Spain and environs. The night come, Tommy, oh God, Tommy. You have a set of condominiums up there and stuff, Tommy. It will
Yeah,
be,
man.
if that's in America, you know, in America, up the hill is suburban and
Right.
down the hill is urban.
That's right.
In Trinidad is the reverse.
Right.
Up the hill is urban
Suburban. Down
and
here is
down the hill
suburban.
is suburban.
Right.
Like imagine.
Well,
And
only in certain places in St. Augustine, up the hill is very much suburban. But you ever go up the hills in St. Augustine?
that's up like St. Benedict something.
Like in the area where, um, let me see who lives up in them areas there. Marshall.
No, I never went up the hill in St. Augustine.
We have some places up there really nice, man.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I never been up there. I know. Like we're up by where St. Benedict is, the school up the hill up there.
Yeah, I know where St. Benedict's is. I know up on that side.
Right, right. You know something? And Santa Cruz up the hill. When you go up Santa Cruz and you're up the hill,
Mm-hmm.
that will be a little more, you know. And I went to a place in Santa Cruz too, boy. If you see nice houses up there, boy, real. As a matter of fact, my partner had a plot of land up there, real nice, boy. Trinidad has some real nice places, you know.
Of course it does.
But as you said, Tobago is the place to be, eh?
Yeah. If you want more peace of mind, Tobago is,
Yeah, yeah. So
Tobago is still a very beautiful place.
Capiza says he likes Solomon Grundy. Who is that? What are you talking about? Never Dam is in St. Madeleine near the old sugar factory.
Navet Dam.
Never, yeah. Rose, good night to you. So we're gonna get into the topic just now. We want to talk about the SEA, right? We actually, you know, we would like to talk about stand your ground too, you know. Trinidad Margot says T. What was that answer for Trinidad Margot? What? Rose says Trinidad Margot says Rose says almost everybody in my village gone UNC. Wow.
What village is that? That's Point Fortin.
What village is that? Rose. all hear the rumor, and you see, as Rose says that, right? I read a post today on social media. I want to read it for you. I think we have to be very careful. We have to stop. You could defend your party as much as you want, right? But I saw a post today. I want to read that post because I responded to that post. I don't call names, eh? I just want to read that post of what the person put up. Oh. You know what? I think I could just rephrase it. What the person says, but I don't want to rephrase it. I want to look for it. So I'm just looking for this post, people. Give me a minute. I should have. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna read my editorial for Sanyo Grong too as well. Okay, I can't find this post. So let me paraphrase what the post says, right? Now, I have changed my thinking about property tax. Let me put it this way. My thinking about property tax in Trinidad has evolved. I'll put it that way, right? And it is evolving to. I don't think it's fair and equitable that poor people had to pay the same 3% of the ARV as people who live in Westmoreland and other wealthy communities. Even though I know, the annual rental value is going to be different, I don't believe that's fair and that's equitable. Because in this country, everybody don't pay the same percentage of property tax, even though property tax is based on the assessed value as opposed to the annual rental value, right? I believe it should have been a sliding scale, right, where people pay less property tax in certain communities, right? Tell me, what's your thinking?
Yeah, what seems to be logical is that there are certain places that are more affluent, which is a thinking that we have developed here. And affluent places should be of a higher range and a higher tax bracket than the not so affluent and downtrodden and dilapidated areas, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, I just didn't feel that the property tax is equitable. And there was a post today.
What worries me most about property tax is that the industry and commercial properties are the ones that would bring the most income, and to take that away from the equation when it comes to the equity and sharing the taxes with the councils or the communities, something's wrong with that.
Yeah, I want to agree with that. I think that when, okay, hold on, I'm getting it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here it is. Since we on that, this is what it says. I like to look for that. I like to look for these things, right? If you can't pay the property tax, the P&M will take your home. Don't make an insane choice. That's fear mongering.
Who says that?
I'm not gonna call the person. The person posted. The person said that they posted from someone else. If you can't pay the property tax, the P&M will take your home. Don't make that instant choice. And I responded. Let me tell you how I responded. Because we have to stop this type of misleading information. Let's play politics. Listen, support whichever party you want. Right? And this is what I said to the person. This seemed like fear mongering. If you pay taxes to the corporation, how can the P&M take away your home? perhaps you can rephrase it to make it make more sense, right? You see, Tommy, not because I don't support the RPNM, right? You will make stuff. That's not true. It's a lie. Tommy, you know what that's like, Tommy? We pay taxes to our tongue, right?
Township, right?
The township, right? And then the federal government go come and tell you, well, look, you didn't pay your taxes, so we go come and take your house. Or Joe Biden and them go come and say, we go and take your house because you ain't pay property tax. It's untrue. It's false. It's misleading. So to me, when you put out information like that, right, you are impugning your own integrity, to me, right? Or what you can do, you could put fact or fiction, right? If you put fact or fiction, means to say you're not sure, but you're asking a question,
Right.
right? And when I address the person say, I just sharing it from somebody else that posted.
So why you want to perpetuate that type of information if you cannot verify it?
Well, it's social media, we got to verify nothing.
All right.
What we had to verify. You could just post wherever you want, right? As a matter of fact, Tommy, what I did, there was an incident that happened. Okay, let me get it for you. There was a young man who was accused of sending a naked picture to a 15-year-old.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It was alleged.
Right.
Okay, and I asked the question, is it fact or is it fiction? Because I'm not sure, right? He's a counselor or he's going up for a counselor for a certain community. I don't remember the community, right? But I asked the question whether it's fact or fiction. Right? So I'm not sure. So I'm trying to find out. But when you blatantly post information that blatantly is misleading, and it goes to both sides, both sides of the political divide, right? It's not just the PNM or the UNC, it's both of them just do it. And it's unacceptable, right? Just like it's unacceptable with respect to the Prime Minister and the race baiting with respect to stand your ground law, right? What he could have done, as a matter of fact, Tommy, let me read the editorial for you while we at that. Unless you have something that you wanted to say, Tommy.
No, go ahead. Bring it on.
Yeah, let me read that editorial here. I just got it. Where did I put it? Yeah, because I mean, I am somewhat saddened that we make everything political. What Chalky say again?
So he says one set of foolishness.
Well, Chalky, have we done full 100 or no? I think it's in here. Hold on. I think Chalky, have we? Oh, there's so much messages that's come in, man. I want to read that editorial. Go ahead, Tommy, while I look for that editorial.
Yeah, well,
I should have saved it.
yeah, it's just silly season, they call it, when they just regurgitate any or just say any old thing that they think would get them a vote. It's truly silly season.
Yeah, it's just sad that we are perpetuating something that we as the voters and the bystanders are perpetuating a type of behavior that, in order to defend our party, we don't care throwing people under the bus, and yeah, go ahead.
talking about another bus, something just jumped into my head.
All right, here it is. Here it is. All right, go ahead, Tommy.
No, you go ahead with the editorial.
Oh, wow. No, that's not it. Okay. Where the hell did I put that, man? And if I have it in here.
Yeah, what came to mind was Fali and versus Dr. Chaos.
Yeah, Tommy, that is something else to it. I just don't understand. As a matter of fact, Tommy, I'm gonna look for that during the break. As a matter of fact, as you say that, right? Let me just finish. Let me just address some things here in the chat, and then I'm gonna come to that. Because Tommy, I was told from reliable sources that the TTPS put out something that people in the THC have been interviewed, and I have been told from reliable sources that nobody have been interviewed. That statement is coming from the central government through someone else. I'm just telling you what I've been told. And the post I believe what I was told. I put it that way. So Rose says, I went out in the rain today to have lunch with two of my friends from Guyana. When I came home, I couldn't find my house keys. I had to call my husband and son to leave their work and come home. Right? Okay.
Okay, Rose.
Okay. Good night to you, Rose. Oh, so now Margot said T was an error. Then I said yes to me being Pep. Okay. Yeah, Trinidad Margot, we don't worry about whoever is what. You know that. We go in here. A few of my strong PNM friends told me that they will be voting, even though they are not pleased with the PNM performance. Okay.
If you vote on PNM, he's implying.
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah. Caroni have less rental value. So Capiza, if Caroni has less rental value, that means to say that if the percentage is lower, you pay a lower property tax. Right?
But Coroni have a lot of commercial properties too. What should happen is that money from the commercial properties should make up for the lower values. Somehow the things would even themselves out if you get the local government to handle both commercial and residential.
So Ingrid Jack says, I'm on earthquake watch. So watch out, elbow cough. I'm the earthquake. Okay. Okay, the earthquake. Okay. That is the otherwise of, is it Yui? Santa Margarita? Where? Santa Margarita is isn't that outside of Trinidad? Outside of in Trinidad, but don't the sea somewhere? Don't the some part?
UWU.
Or maybe it's UWI. Isn't Santa Mariga a part there in off the shore in Trinidad somewhere?
Santa Margarita.
Yeah. Somewhere close to Venezuela or something.
Let me see. Let me confirm that.
Yeah, I ain't sure. All right, so folks, I want to go to first of all, right? The first thing is this, right? The police stated that. Oh, you know what? Before we get to that, let's go to the SCA, right? Let's go to the SCA. Now, there was a statement today stated that, let me get that. Statement today stated that over 18,000 people took the SCA and 58% score over 50%. Right? So 18,000, 58%, right? 58% of 18,000, say about 9, 10 to 11,000, between 10 to 12,000 scored over 50%. Now, I want people to help me in the chat. In Trinidad, our passing grade is out of 100, because here in the United States, 50% is not a passing grade. 60% is a passing grade.
Right.
Right? So 58% of these students scored over 50%. So if you scored 51%, does that mean you passed? I don't get it. So let's take a listen.
In years past, SEA Results Day was one filled with anticipation, excitement, perhaps even trepidation for some. But since the decision to discontinue the ranking, as well as the option to access SEA results online, there is little to no activity across our nation's schools. TV6 visited school after school in Port of Spain and environs, and the atmosphere was all the same. In stark contrast to the throngs of eager parents and children that used to be the feature of SEA Results Day, we only managed to capture one parent and student in the throes of success.
You man, he got his bush. QRC, here he comes. I have a customized shirt for him already. This is how much faith you have to have in your children.
I passed for QRC or Queen's Royal College.
How are you feeling?
Excited because it was my first choice, and I had no doubt in my mind that I was going to pass my first choice. And God is good, and He helped me pass my first choice.
But despite her initial ecstasy, Mrs. Gibbons Moses would like the SEA to be done away with completely.
SEA is from hell. This was a stress on both parents and children and teachers. I think they should just have something from the time they get into the school, continuous assessments, because he has been in every achievement ceremony since he entered this school. And I believe that they should disband the SEA. It's too much stress.
Back in the heart of the city at Nelson Street Girls RC, we were fortunate to catch one of only 4 students who sat the exam this year.
I passed for Corpus Christi College, and I'm very excited and happy that I make my both parents proud and myself proud, and my family will be proud of me.
Beautiful, I understand it was only 4 of you from the school who sat the exam. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was 4 of us. We tried our best. We did well, and we come out with our first and second choice.
Beautiful.
Her mother, like a few others, told us that after experiencing many challenges with the online portal, she decided to make the trek down to the school to collect the results the old-fashioned way.
This year with the online, I find it wasn't, I find it should go back to the hard copy as well as here on the online, as they could get a few from after like the midnight, like what they did last year. I find that was more better.
Right next door at Nelson Street Boys was a handful of students and parents who came to the school to collect results. Among them, a potential future leader of our nation.
I look forward to have a better education, to expand myself more and become a president one day and take care of our country.
According to the Ministry of Education, just over 58% of students scored over 50% in this year's exam, while in 2022, just over 37% of students scored over 50%. The ministry says this represents a marked improvement in the performance of students. Additionally, in 2023, the percentage of students scoring 30% or below decreased to 13.5% compared to 27.8% in 2022. The percentage of students scoring above 90% this year was 2.11%, which indicates an increase from 2022 of 0.47%. A total of 18,797 students wrote the secondary entrance assessment in 2023. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Tommy, that's what I said.
What's wrong with that scale?
Tommy, Tommy.
What's wrong with that scale?
Tommy, what? Tommy, Wait now, boy. Wait.
First to begin, the stress on the young children is just tremendous. And I agree that that stress has to end. They have to stop and just assess the child by his or her performance throughout their primary school life.
For me, no. Did I? Nah, I gotta have missed something.
50%.
Wait. I missed something.
Oh, before you go on, Santa Margarita is a part of St. Augustine. Is a let me tell you what it says here. Before you go on, Santa Margarita is St. Augustine, Trinidad and Tobago. It's a residential community that consists of single-family homes and gated communities consisting of townhouses and condominiums.
Okay. Who was that from Santa Margarita? Was that?
Was Miss Jack?
Yeah, Miss Jack. Yeah, that was Jack. That was Ingrid Jack. Yeah, Ingrid Jack. Oh, yeah. So it's Yui. So yeah. Okay, that's on the other side of Yui.
Right, that'll be on the other side, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. So Tommy, I missed something here. You telling me that 18,000 people, 18,000 students do the test, and only 376 scored above 90? Is that what she said? 2% scored above 90?
2% scored above 90.
2%?
2%.
376?
Yep.
Tommy, 2%? No, tell me, what did I miss? Did I miss something?
Well, I don't know if you missed something, but I think you know exactly what they're saying.
And 10,902 individuals got over 50%. So I'm asking questions, right? So, all right. So Capiza say, well, in this country, 70 is a C. Yes, Capiza. 60, 65, I think, to 69, or 60 to 69 is a 60 to 64 is a D minus, and 65 to 69 is a D plus. Right? So you could still pass a class even though you get 60 out of 100. Right? In college. Now, I'm asking the questions. In high school in Trinidad and Tobago, is a passing mark 50 out of 100?
I can't really remember. What do you remember from high school?
I can't remember. I can't remember. I really can't. Ellis says, Walls, that exam is so competitive. It have children that score up to 99%. Ellis, there is only 2% of them scoring 90 and above, 2%, 376 kids. So, what does it say? Space, we have a problem. What does it say? Space to something, we have a problem. What does I want to get to me? Something that say, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Ellis, our kids are extremely intelligent, and Ellis, only 2% getting 90 or higher. No.
That actually, you don't blame the kids alone when it's like that, you know.
No. Correct, Tommy. I'm not blaming the kids, I'm not blaming the kids. But I'm just concerned that we have a system where only 2% of the kids are getting 90 and higher. I mean, how much schools we have in Trinidad? We have over 100 schools, right? Well, who take the SCA? Right? Nah. Something wrong there. I think them numbers, I think she misspoke. I want to say that.
Well, I don't think she misspoke because I was listening to that same news on one of the radio stations in Trinidad, and I think it was the same information that was being given to the public.
So,
So,
Tommy, let me
apart-
let me reread that. No, this is the part that was posted in the newspapers, right? It says a total of 18,797 students wrote the secondary entrance assessment in 2023. And of that number, just over 58% scored over 50% in the exam. So, Tommy, I don't understand what over 58% means. How much scored under 50%? If over 58% scored over 50, over 58% means 59, 60%, 61%, right?
51%.
If over 58%, or they're saying it's just over 58%, just over 10,000, whatever it is.
58 over 58% scored. So we're looking at 42% failed.
Under 50 and under.
So we're saying 42% of the tested individuals failed the damn test.
Failing. Yeah. Correct is right. So
Yeah, but why is 50 the passing grade?
That's what I'm asking. Why is 50%? Capiza says, can anyone help us with that? A is 70%, a C is 70% in the USA. Okay. All right, we got that. Right, that's correct. Right? So I don't get this. Folks, we need your help. Ellis says it depends on how high the grades are on the year of the exams. I am totally confused. Yeah. Capiza, that's exactly what I said. Girls going to KRC. I said
Was that a girl that was saying she going to KRC? Or was it a young boy with a teeny weeny voice and his hair braided?
Yeah.
It's a boy.
I think that was a male.
It's a boy.
Yeah, I think that was a male. I don't think that was a female.
Forget them P.
Yeah. Who's that? Last year the marks was a bit low, so a lot of secondary school teachers are saying many kids who wrote last year can't read properly. But Ellis, if 42% of 18,000 kids are scoring under 50%, master control, we have a problem. Master control to Apollo, we have a problem. Please beam me down. Don't beam me up. Beam me down, master control. 42% of kids in the country failing.
That's terrible.
What's the budget for the Ministry of Education again? Let me look at it. Wait.
I would say more than 50% because 50% is not a passing grade.
But wait. In 2020, 2021, 2019, 2020, 2021, the education budget was $7 billion. That was the highest. In 21-22, $6 billion. That was the highest. In 22-23, $7.4 billion. That's the highest. And not only that, from 21-22 to 22-23, they get $500 million more. Are we getting, I'm saying we,
value for money?
Are we getting value for money?
The answer is a resounding no.
No. Please, people in Trinidad and Tobago, please help us. Please help us. Please help us. We have Nadia, help us.
Oh boy, Nadia, I know you're a school teacher. You can probably come in the chat and enlighten us because we probably are all wrong in our assessment and thinking.
Correct. Trinidad Margot, thank you. It's Houston, we have a problem. Sheldon, thank you. Houston, we have a problem. we have a problem. Oh, wait now, 42% of these kids in school failing? 42%? Nah. All you tell me something. I have to go further than Houston. Washington, we have a problem.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Let's presume that these children just had test anxiety and they didn't perform up to mark because of the stress. That's just because.
No, Tommy. If you're gonna make that assumption, 42%, we could get them 10%. 10% of them. Right? I still 32%. You can't say all of them. 10% of them have problems. Yeah, they are psychological problems. Take 10%. 32% still, Tommy? Where's 32% of 18? Let me see. 18,000, 18,799, it's 797. Right? So we have 10,000. 10,902. Then we have 18,797 times. What are we going to buy? 18,797 times. All right, 0.32. I take off 10%, right?
Right.
6,000 people, 6,000 students, Tommy. 6,000.
Well, hopefully next year they'll do better.
No, they do better this year because last time they did worse.
well, hopefully those who fail this year will pick up next year and succeed.
Yeah. Thanks, Diana. Diana also said Houston, we had a problem. Yeah. Sheldon says, Sheldon, welcome. The education ministry is failing our kids miserably.
Exactly.
Miserably. And the people in Trinidad, all they want to go and march with the DPP, go and march to get the commissioner of police a letter for what? For what? For what? And our children failing? That's why we have so much bandits in Trinidad. We become a bandit country.
If the children failing, what's the future?
And Tommy, I will believe that in Trinidad, we have a lot of social promotion. All you know what is social promotion?
Yeah, they just promote them because they were there.
Yeah, they just move them up. For the next group to come along and move them up too.
Apparently, this has been going on for a long time. These things just don't start overnight.
What I would like to do, I would like to go and investigate the numbers previously.
Yes, to see the track record. People in Trinidad should be marching on the ministry. And let me add something to it. I tell the parents, most of the parents who live in urban Trinidad and Tobago, all you go down to the ministry and make sure what school all your kids pass for, they truly pass for that school. And here is why. I remember my mother-in-law out of Lavantil, one of the brightest kids she had in the whole school. The girl bright. You know, you have a set of 75 watt bulbs in a box. She was a 1,000 watt bulb, a 1,000 watt, bright. And she passed one of them fly-by-night school. I ain't saying nothing bad, but I ain't calling no name. Fly-by-night school. The mother went down to the ministry. You know what happened, Tommy? They had to pull the records and show that they were messing with her results.
Correct is right, because she's from Lavantil. And they had to put she in one of the prestigious schools. I ain't saying it happened now, but it happened. And Tommy, why in this day a principal or whoever gets 20% to decide, they have a 20% number, they can pick who they want to come in the school? Because of the Concordat, whatever it's called, 20%. Why is that? Why? In this day and age.
Corruption lives.
Why?
Corruption is alive.
So if you're not too intelligent and I intelligent, you could take my spot. If I am on the precipice, so to speak, I'm on the edge. You could take my spot because the principal say, all right, I can't take you, I have to take he or she.
Look, man, it has always been who knows who.
And people in Trinidad just sit down and taking that. Sit down and taking it.
Always been, I know somebody.
Yeah. Sheldon, thank you. 4,100. Yeah. 31%, 30% you could get a life sentence. Yeah,
A life center.
a life center. Okay. Yeah, if not, but that's the average, correct, Sheldon? That's the average. What? In Georgia, 69 is a fail. Guys, what is the passing grade in Trinidad out of 100? Is it 50? Is it 50 points or 50%? Yeah, but Vonnie, that's what we're saying. 42% of them get under 50%. That's how we understand it to be. Right, Tommy?
Yep. If we are interpreting it correctly, other than that, if we are wrong, somebody needed to enlighten us.
Right, and 42% of 18,797 is 7,894 students. And people, I am happy for all those kids that passed. I'm very happy for them. But we have a big problem. We have a problem. And this problem needs to be corrected, because what we are doing is that we are sending out people into the population, right, who doesn't have the skills. Or the schools need to do something with entrepreneurship.
In the first place, why are they sending them to write the exam and when they're not ready for it?
Correct is right. I don't know. I don't want to look at no ethnic composition. Huh? I don't care who it is. I really don't. I don't care who it is. I want the school system to be able to benefit everybody in the system. I don't care if it's a pink, if you're green, if you're blue, if you're mauve, I don't care. Right? It's supposed to benefit everyone. When you're spending, you having $7 billion. Of course, I know the teachers had to get pay and people had to get pay and all kind of thing. But you spending $6-7 billion every year, and 42% of the kids failing.
So we're not getting value for money. That's what we're saying.
And people in Trinidad they're worrying about a man over there get 500,000 to cross the floor, right? A fella was kidnapped in Barbados and bring back to Trinidad. Gary Griffith cussing Rowley and Rowley cussing Gary Griffith. What Chalk does say again? Let me just play this for a minute here.
Too much of foolishness.
Let me just play this for a minute here. Let me play this for a minute. Chalky get it right. He absolutely got it right.
This thing called TNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Centers, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on turned court to UNC. And Wendell Motley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Motley, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka sing, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 party. So he's only die hard new and grassroots me. It's the NM and UNC.
I lie. But what Kapisa saying there? Ethics or ethnic?
Ethnic. I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that road. I want the road where we could go down. Where's that? It doesn't matter what your background is. You could get a quality of education. That's what I want for Trinidad and Tobago. I don't care who, if it's that one, this one. The Ministry of Education is for all the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
All the children.
It's for all the children. It's not for this children or that children or that children. Okay? It's for all the children. And that is what we should be concentrating on. Okay? Sheldon says the elementary school system is very poor. They change textbook every year, so the exam have to change also. They are lowering the bar. Right?
The book situation in Trinidad is disgusting.
They change it every year?
Man.
Well, let me say this. Colleges just change it almost every year too, you know. They might change one paragraph in a chapter and they go to edition 10 and edition 11 and edition 12.
But generally you can still get away with using the old edition.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And listen to this, right? My daughter in college didn't buy any books in the bookstore. She went online and she bought all her books online, and the books wasn't the up-to-date book, right? It was like maybe one edition behind, and it's about 95% the same thing.
When did she go to college?
She graduated 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Just graduated recently.
Okay.
Honey says if there was 18,000 odd that took the exam, yeah, there was 18,797. Sheldon says I have to put my sister in a private school because the curriculum is not conducive to preparing our kids for the future.
You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in New Jersey for talk, news, sports, and information. The Caribbean. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in New Jersey for talk, news, sports, and information. The Caribbean.
We are back with you. It's in the village to the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Now, let me say this, I have to be transparent to her, right? When Sheldon says I have to put my daughter in a private school because the curriculum is not conducive to preparing our kids for the future, I have to be honest, right? I can't be in HDD, hypocritical, deceitful, and disingenuous. Both my son and my daughter went to private school. Okay? So my son went to a boarding school and my daughter went to a private school here in New Jersey. Right? Because we felt that in order for them to get the best out of themselves, they would have to go to private school.
Right.
And but of course, private school comes with a price. You see, and a lot of people can't afford that.
Let me ask you something. Do you get scholarships out of private school as easily as from the public school?
What do you mean scholarship? To go to college?
Mm-hmm.
Easier.
Okay.
Easier. As a matter of fact, my son went to a boarding school. And when he was in the public school, right, he was on the soccer team. Well, you know, in this country, when you're on a high school soccer team, it's the parents who are running the soccer team, not the coach.
True.
You know, so the parents just, buddy up to the coach, and the coach will play the son, even though they have half of one foot. You know, even if, they have two left foot, it doesn't matter. Right? If them buddy up to the coach will play their kids more than your kid. And I wasn't a person. I was never a parent who wanted to suck up to a coach for my son to play.
For curry favor.
I don't want that. Because when you go out in the world, you're out there on your own. Right? I'm not gonna be there for you. So we made a decision. We took him out of public school and we put him in a boarding school. But he got a soccer scholarship to go to boarding school.
Right.
Right.
My two who went to school here, they went to the Performing and Fine Arts high school, Cicely Tyson's Performing and Fine Arts.
In East Orange, right?
Right, and they both got scholarships.
Correct is right. Now, my son from that boarding school, when he left the public school, he had minus 10 offers for a scholarship. Minus 10, eh?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even in the radar. And when he went to the boarding school, after 1 month of playing in the boarding school, he had about 5 or 6 offers.
Right.
The kid was good, but I, as a dad, wasn't going to suck up to the coach for him to play. And
Right.
so he used to get a little 15, 20 minutes, you know. So as a parent, you just had to do what you had to do. I mean, my daughter was totally different.
Yeah, boy. The girls are something else that's wrong.
Yeah, my daughter was just off the chart. Academics,
My daughter graduated valedictorian.
Oh, my daughter was president of the debate club.
Yeah.
I mean, she was doing all kind of things. One day I went to pick
both
up.
of my girls are wow.
Yeah, told me one of these days, the day I went to pick up in school, because the school was about, she was at a commute to school, right? So I went to pick her because she went away for this debate in Washington. So I come and I pick up. I say, I said, how you doing? How's everything going? I said, how was the trip? I said, what do you guys do? She's, well, we was in the Senate and we had to do a debate. And I was the only one that won the debate. I was the only one from my whole team to win the debate. She was the president of the debate club at the school.
Wow.
President. Eh? And her school was, I would say 90% white.
Okay.
You understand?
Was
and
it
she was
Catholic school?
No, it wasn't Catholic school. It's a school in Martinsville. I don't want to call the school name. It's in Martinsville.
Okay.
You know where Martinsville is up there?
Of course.
Off of 78.
78, yeah.
Right. And she did. It was unbelievable. And you know the thing, Tommy? The teachers there were very concerned about your grades. Doesn't matter what you look like. Didn't matter where you live. Didn't matter where you come from. If you are able to get into the school, they know that you can do the work and they challenge you. You were challenged. And that's what we need to do with the kids in Trinidad and Tobago. Victoria, welcome. Victoria says, good night. The education system have changed a long time now. In my days, kids, when they failed, never went to high school. The system, a long time now, almost all kids are placed in school. So your social promotion.
That's what that is.
That's called social promotion, and that doesn't work. It does not work. You know? Sheldon said, Port has been overcrowded on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, no, Vonnie, you are right. If 18,000 odd students took the exam and 11,000 passed, then just over 7,000 fail. If over 7,000 fail, thanks for all who gave me, for Diana and Margot and everybody else and Sheldon. Yes, Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. And I ain't see nobody marching, right? I ain't see nobody in an uproar. All I seeing is all the children's happy and be merry and yeah, I passed to my school and this one passed to their school and so on. Hey, Capiza, that's not true. That's not nice. Capiza, that's not nice. So Diana asks, so eliminating SCA won't result in social promotion?
As a matter of fact, what it would do, it would give you a better gauge on who's performing, who's not performing. You don't do social promotion, then you check their track record and their grades. If their grades add up the mark, then they have to repeat until they get up to mark, or go to the appropriate type of intervention when it comes to education. Maybe they're a bit slow and they need some special help or something of sorts.
So Tommy, what happens to these 7,000 students now? What happens to them?
They have to repeat, I would imagine.
So based on Diana's question, eliminating SCA will result in social promotion, right? If 7,000 students fail, what are they going to do? If they want these students to move on, what they have to do? They have to promote them. Or maybe some of them could repeat.
Or steer them, if they keep failing, steer them into something that is of interest to them, that they, or whatever they seem to be able to perform at.
Yeah, so let's shift gears a little bit. This is breaking news. DSS founder Karen Clark has won 2 cases against the police. In June 2023, a magistrate denied the police an extension on keeping $64,935, which they seized in February from hairdresser Cindy Brooks. Part of the money, she said, was her hand from DSS recently, which is right now. And a Riemann magistrate denied the police an extension in keeping $40,000 seized when the founder was arrested. This is the second related money to be seized by police in investigation into alleged money laundering involving DSS that had to be returned. However, Clark is still facing charges of money laundering. The Court of Appeal has reserved its ruling on a case involving the seizure of $7 million from DSS. The ruling is expected to be handed down in coming weeks. Imagine that, Tommy.
Wow.
The man win. Let me do something. Hold on, Let me do something. This is for Karen Clark. Karen, listen to this. Listen to this, Karen.
You get up one morning, your elders have something, you don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man do get nothing easy.
Trying to make an honest living, right? And the government, should I blame the government for that, Tommy? Should I blame the government, Tommy?
By law enforcement is the government? Because who is in governance, the law enforcement has a job to do.
You see, Tommy, you see, I could blame the government. Here's why. You see what's going on in Tobago? And I'm going to play that video soon. What's going on in Tobago? With them police going up to Tobago, and the police allegedly lying and saying they have interviewed people in the Tobago House of Assembly. I have been reliably told that that's a lie. So the central government, right, want to put the kibosh on the transformational leader, Fali Chavez Augustine, send the police to go out to the media and put something out in its space that we interview them fellas and them. And when you ask them fellas and them say nobody interview me. So which one is it? Somebody telling untruth.
Boy, if it's the norm for the untruth to come from the head, I don't see why
Oh,
I don't see why the belly wouldn't have problems telling the truth.
oh, Tommy, you are a wise man, you know. You are a wise young man, Tommy. That is exactly what my conclusion. If Dr. Chaos could lie to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and listener, lie repeatedly, we're not closing down Petrochin. He lied. You know the other one he lied there about the other day? Boy, oh God, there's so much videos to play. There's even can't upload them. The man lied and said Trinidad had one of the top cancer care in the world.
I saw the
Tony,
clip.
I could not be when I hear him stand up on a platform and say that, I said, nah. I said, what? Boy, I went to Google cousin, I went to Google father, I went to Google mother, his stepmother. I put all of them in there to find out. And I asked the question. The answer came back. Maybe one day in the future, we'll have top cancer care in Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, we are nowhere close. As a matter of fact, we're not even in the top 5 in the Caribbean. Only Google it and find out. Because I Google it already. We're not even in top 5. As a matter of fact, let me see, boy. What number we are in the Caribbean, boy? I wonder if I still have this here, boy. Let me see. Let me see if I still have it here. Let me see if I still have it. God, I still... Oh, look at here. Look at here. I still have it. But what is this? Boy, you just do too much homework, you know. As of March 8, 2023. No. Not that one. Not that one. No, that is the IMF. That's the IMF one. Okay. Just a minute. All right, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is right here. I'm going to give all it. What are the top 10 Caribbean countries for cancer care? Number 1. Tell me you think number 1 is. Think. Wait, think.
If it's Caribbean, I think Cuba.
Barbados.
Wow.
Number 2.
Number 2 is who?
Antigua and Barbuda.
Did they include Cuba in that?
Let me see if they include Cuba. Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts, Bahamas, Jamaica. No, they didn't include Cuba, you know. But Cuba should be in there somewhere.
I would say Cuba is number 1 based on what I've heard and the result.
Yeah. I think what are the top 10 Caribbean countries for cancer cure? Right? And they said the top 10 Caribbean countries for cancer care according to a 2022 report by World Health Organization. Barbados is 1, Antigua Barbuda is 2, St. Lucia is 3, Dominica is 4, Grenada is 5, St. Kitts Nevis is 6, Trinidad is 7, Bahamas is 8, Jamaica is 9, and Cayman Islands is 10. Right? Barbados has the highest cancer cure rate in the Caribbean with a 5-year survival rate of 64% for all cancers combined. This is followed by Antigua and Barbuda 63%, St. Lucia 62%, Dominica 60%, and Grenada 59%. The Bahamas, Jamaica, and Cayman Islands also have high cancer care rates with 5-year survival rates of 58, 57, and 56% respectively. Trinidad is number 7. So when I hear this, we're going to get back to the SCA, right? When I hear this from our prime minister, I was flabbergasted. I was like, no, he didn't just go on a platform and said that. Here it is. He didn't just go to our platform and just make that up, boy. You can make up anything these days. Anything goes. I mean, I know he's Dr. Chaos, but oh God.
In the city, right next to me there, within walking distance, is a line-up machine. You know what that means? It means that you can get the best cancer care in the world right next door to the hospital.
You can, but would you? You can, but do you?
Right next to me there, within walking distance, is a line-up machine. You know what that means? It means that you can get the best cancer care in the world right next door to the hospital.
You can, but do you?
Tommy, because you have a line-up machine, you'll get the best cancer care.
Yeah.
Right? We have a machine. So now that we have a machine, you don't take anything else into consideration, you know. Right? We have the best cancer care in the world. I don't know, boy. And you know what, Tommy? You know the first, so a lot of people we've been going back and forth on social media, right? And some people are saying that I hate Dr. Rowley. Why would I hate Dr. Rowley?
Because you tell the truth.
Yeah,
because you analyze what's going on and you speak truth to power.
Yeah, I mean, what I just presented there, that was facts. I didn't present nothing that's not factual.
You're not making anything up.
I'm making it up.
No, nobody's in the business of making anything up. We deal with what's being said and what's being done.
Yeah, he made a statement, and I said, boy, let me fact check that statement. And when you fact check the statement is a lie. It's a big lie.
You see, what we have to realize, politicking is a dangerous game, especially when you are desperate. Because what we see is desperation setting in here.
Well, and fear mongering too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you ask the layman on the street, does Trinidad have one of the best cancer care in the world? Right? You think if they're answering honestly, they're going to say, yeah, boy, when I walk down the street right down there, I could get the best cancer care in the world. By the way, when the Prime Minister talking about care, does he stay in Trinidad to get any type of care? Does he stay in Trinidad?
Since his best care, does he experience the best care in Trinidad?
Does he does he go to the hospital in Trinidad? I mean, oh God, man, oh God. And I know people are gullible, but oh God, I mean, make it make sense sometimes now. Sheldon says religion plays a big part in the education system. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Ellis asks, it is board school? No, it's called boarding school. Not board school. Boarding school. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means, Kapiza. We Indians have Sat Mirage schools. I don't know what that means. Sheldon says no one knows these days. Bonnie said these kids are too stressed out with common entrance exam. So too are the parents. Yeah, time to get rid of the SCA. Yeah. We must go back to the old education system. I don't know if we gotta go back to the old education.
Change is the only constant, Sheldon.
Yeah, change is the only constant, man. We don't need to go back. And the thing about it is that the change in this country is that SAT scores are not, a big prevalent as it used to be before. Right? I mean, some schools, have basically abolished the SAT or the ACT. When previously, you could get in to certain schools, based on your high SAT scores, and with what just happened with the Supreme Court, and affirmative action is now out the window.
Yeah, but now it's going to be a different look is going to be taken at those who are privileged that get placed in schools based on favors. Or
I don't think it removed legacy, Tommy. Legacy is still there.
They're going to remove it.
You think so?
It's going to have to be affected if they're pushing up on affirmative action. They have to do something about legacy.
Well, unless somebody take them to court.
Well, you're going to see what's going to happen. They're not even going to wait for people to take them to court. Most of these schools are going to abandon legacy.
Yeah, because legacy is a big thing, man.
Big thing. And you have students of color who have better academic skills that get left out because legacy goes ahead of them.
And Tommy, and that's the same thing I'm saying for in Trinidad. When a principal is allowed a 20% candidate, right? Of course, you know what could happen with that. So Ellis says board schools are important. If we had more board schools, the young men would have been able to attend the school that would allow bread. I don't understand that. Ellis, you gotta explain that a little more.
You know what boarding school?
I mean, to us in boarding schools here, boarding schools are strict rules, you know.
Yep.
Boarding school ain't no regular school, you know. Them are strict rules that they have to. I'll make you an example. And I'm sure I gave this example previously. My son was riding a bike across campus one day. And they stop him and they send him to the dean. You're not supposed to ride a bicycle across campus. But I don't know, like he didn't know something. So he calls me now, Dad, you know, they're gonna put me in you know when you break a rule, they say whether it's demerits or whatever they call it, right? And he says, I have to go to this thing now for 2 hours a day now. I said, Malcolm, go and speak to the dean and tell the dean exactly what happened. And I'm sure the dean will take care of it because they know that you are not a kid that gives trouble in the school. And plus, you know, he's the best soccer player. You know, they don't treat everybody equal.
True.
So he went and he spoke to the dean. The dean said, okay, Malcolm, this was your first time ever happened. Please don't let it happen again. You know, we know that you're a good student and everything else. Yeah, you get off. Tommy, you know what was instructive? I went to a parent-teachers conference one time, and we sat around a round table. We were all of us sitting on around a round table.
Right.
And Tommy, if I could recall it, there were like 9 students in the class, 9. And I asked my son, where are the rest of the students? Because coming from public school, there was about maybe 30 students in the class. 9 students told me. I asked him where the rest of the students. He looked at me like if I'm crazy. He said, Dad, this is it. Tommy boy, I was so happy, boy. That means, Tommy,
you can get good attention.
There we go. You hit the nail on the proverbial head. You cannot hide.
Right.
You can't hide. In 30 students, if the teacher gets to half of them before the class is finished, that is a lot.
That's right.
With 9 students, you could get to them easily.
And you're supposed to know them inside out as a teacher.
Yep. So Ellis says, some years ago, we had a child who refused to cover her head. He's a Hindu who was attending an Islam school. Okay. So here is Nadia. Nadia says, Ansem, these kids are too stressed out. CXC was very stressed for the students. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Victoria says, the UNC government got rid of the youth camp. Ansem, you're now understanding what's happening. My people are not looking at themselves. Well, yeah. Nadia says, Tommy, correct. Nadia says, Ansem, I agree with you. Sheldon says, sorry, but back in the 80s, there was a big problem with the common entrance also. And listen, the common entrance, I could talk about the common entrance. I could speak because I didn't know about corruption in common entrance until I listened to Coco Calypso. And I can say, right, that I was one of them who got an advantage, right, because my last name was Leborn. I lived in Chumaka, Clavantil, and at that point in time, folks, I'm talking about 75 to 77. Listen carefully. I could not recall anyone living in my community that went to CIC, Fatima, QRC, St. Mary's, even John Donaldson, or What was the other prestigious school back then? Was Trinity open then?
No, I don't remember Trinity then.
Right. We didn't
Fatima.
Huh? Fatima. We didn't go to none of them schools. The school we went to, Southeast Port of Spain, Tranquility Government Secondary. And if you didn't make it, you go to Progressive. Remember Progressive?
Right. That's a paid school, right?
A paid school, yes. Progressive. What was the other ones, boy? But it was the second tier of schools.
Right.
And Tommy, I received a late call to go to Tranquil Government Secondary School.
Wow.
You know what a late call was back then, right? I would have to end up like in the 637 standard.
Wow.
Right? And then all of a sudden, I went from Diego Martin Junior Sec to Barataria Junior Sec to Tranquility Government Secondary School. And I ended up being one of the top kids in the class, You understand?
Yeah. Well, you're in the 70s. Now I'm 66. I took common entrance, 66. Right? So think about how long ago this thing was a mess. And I'm sure, yeah, it was a mess long before 70s.
Yeah.
The whole thing was, yeah.
And it looked like it's getting worse because 42% of the kids failing now. Right? So we have a budget of $7.5 billion, $7.4 billion. What are we doing with $7.4 billion? Boy, this let me be the Minister of Education,
Yep.
But me what I work. I not gonna be happy with that work. I not gonna be happy.
I remember in my time, after common entrance, some kids used to be crying for days because they know they are good performers and they know their work. And they're sure they pass, but limited space in school, so they only would siphon off the top, the top whatever percentage. It's just different times. And then again,
go ahead.
And then again, they would just place you. Sometimes if you're not connected, they just place you any old place.
Tommy, did you go to junior sec?
It didn't have junior sec in my time.
It was already, that was before. Right.
66, I'm saying.
Yeah.
There were no junior sec. There were no junior secs.
Right. So, Tommy, junior sec was only half day school?
That's what I came to realize.
Junior sec was from 8 to 12 and then 12:30 to 4:30. So think about it, Tommy. You going to school 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week. When you go into the other schools, you're going to school for 35 hours for the week, right? If we just say 7 hours, right? So we go 4 hours so they can get close to 7 hours as much as possible. Right? So Tommy, when the week is done, you have gone to school for 35 hours. I have gone to school for 20 hours. You're already 15 hours ahead of me. Right?
Per week.
Per week. By the time the month is done, right, you are 60 hours ahead of me. 60 hours. Right? Now, that 60 hours is like close to 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Give and take. So, Tommy, how do you expect me to go to junior sec and for me to perform as good as a person who getting 35 hours a week? And then after 3 years in the junior sec, you send me over to Tranquil for 2 years. And I am supposed to catch up with them people who have been there from standard 1 or standard 2 or whatever it is. How am I supposed to catch up to them?
From Form 1.
From Form 1. How am I supposed to catch up to them? How? What am I supposed to do? Create a miracle?
Yeah. Flawed systems.
System is flawed. Do they still have first, second, and third in tests?
I'm not sure.
So folks in Trinidad and Tobago, in classes, do they still have first, second, third, fourth, and people come last in tests? Because in my time, in our time, Tommy, that's what it used to be.
Yeah, in primary school, I was a whip. I was sure I was going to go to presentation of St. Benedict's. As a matter of fact, I wanted to go to St. Benedict's because St. Benedict's was really popular in football in them days. I was sure I was going to Benedict's or Prayers. But say what?
Yeah, but I tell you the truth. I was just look. Only just send me to a school, please send me to a school, because I went to Calvary Roman Catholic School, and then from Calvary Roman Catholic School, I passed with Diego Martin Junior Sec.
Yeah, didn't have a junior second my time because I went to high school from 66 to 71.
Yeah, Sheldon says we don't change version, we change entire titles. I don't understand what purpose Trinidad and Tobago citizens vote for. These votes have never benefited them. No. Highly, the votes have benefited certain people. Right? It may not have benefited all the students. So Sheldon, I think you might be asking about my son, right? My son went to school in Pennsylvania, boarding school in Pennsylvania, and my daughter went to school
in Jersey.
In Jersey, in
Bernardsville.
Correct is right, in Bernardsville.
Mm-hmm.
When he says, my both boys went to private school and both passed for KRC. Yeah, private school.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Eiley says, how can a paradise island have homeless? I just don't understand how Trinidad and Tobago citizens ain't come to their senses yet. Because, you know why, Eiley? Listen to why. Let me tell you why they ain't come to their senses. Eiley, listen. I want you to listen.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on turn coat to UNC. And when Del Motley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Motley, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
Back to
Dubai, alive.
Hey Diana, welcome.
Storming. You're storming in, baby.
Well, I tell you, boy, this is it. So look, go ahead, Diana. You wanna say welcome?
Everything is sounding soft. Let me come out and come again.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So say this: should the Caribbean governments do away with the SCA test? There are pros and cons to doing away with the SCA test in the Caribbean. On the one hand, the SCA test is a standardized test that ensures that all students are held to the same academic standards. This can help to ensure that students from all backgrounds have equal opportunity to succeed in high school and beyond. Really? So Tommy, if I take classes for the SCA test and other students don't take classes for the SCA test, are we equal?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You hearing us now?
Yeah, good night, villagers. How's everybody doing? I was driving, I was being driven, and I couldn't type in. So I said, let me tune in for a little bit here. About the times at the junior sec versus the other school. Um, I did go to a junior sec, and as I said, it was a mix-up bacchanal, right? But I made the best of it. And to me, the education there is not on the par. You have to want something for yourself. Now, what I remember, the AM shift was 8 a.m. till about 12:15, and then we came in at 12:30 till about 5:15. Now, if you go over to the what you call the 5-year school, the one I went to, St. Augustine Girls High, although we got to school for 8 a.m., we did morning worship, and that lasted about an hour 45 minutes. So you really wasn't in a classroom. So your actual classwork began at 9. So you were 9, 10, 11, and then 12 was lunch. 12 to 1 or 12 to 12:45. Correct me, somebody in the chat, whoever else went there. So if you work out the times and then you went back to class like 1 o'clock because you had to line up, you had to freshen up, blah 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 blah, 1 to 3:15. So if you add up both them times, it is basically the same. The instructional hours. At junior sec, I think you got a half hour, either half hour or 15 minutes. One of the two. Half an hour or 15 minutes. I can't remember. Somebody correct me. Right? So if you add up the times, the junior sec time versus the 5-year time, the one I went to, the instructional hours are the same. Right? So that was just something I wanted to input there.
Yeah. Well, based on what I know, that when you went to those, like for example, if you went when I went to Igor Martin Junior Sec, so we get to school and we may have a recess break, at about, I don't remember what time it was, but like it could be 15 minutes to half an hour.
Right. It wasn't a long time. It
Right.
wasn't
And
a
then
long time.
if it was on the evening shift, you had a break in the evening,
Mhm.
15 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah,
So
I remember that. We did get a break.
even if you had a hour and
Mhm.
5 minutes
Mhm.
in church,
Mhm.
and what time school finished?
They did St. Augustine Girls 3:15.
3:50.
So
Right.
so roughly
With an hour lunch.
roughly you're getting 6 hours of interaction with
Well,
the
don't count the 8 to 9 hour. That was
No, but
ecclesial in the we
that was every day.
worshiped.
That was every day.
Yep, every day.
Wow, that was
Every day we worshiped.
that
Yep,
was a different school. Other schools.
every day.
For example, when I went to
Every day we not to cross it, we worship, and also they taught the bulletin board was discuss things that were going on in the school and all that good stuff. But we worship maybe for half an hour, 45 minutes. Depends on who carried on the worship and the time and the season, and and then we'll talk about things that going on in the school. Yeah.
but even if it was an hour a day is a whole lot. An hour a day is like a class.
No, it's not a class. Everybody's inside the auditorium.
No,
All
no, no,
classes
no.
are in
But
the.
extra
We're not receiving any instructional book work.
no,
They're not doing that.
I understand that, but I'm saying that the difference between the time that
Mm,
you go to the junior sec and you went to the regular school, even if it's an hour difference a day, an
mm.
hour difference a day could be at one class a day.
Well, it's just something I wanted to bring to your attention. We weren't receiving any classroom instruction for that first hour. It was always worship, talked about what's going on in school, if we participated in what hockey matches, or any motivational speaking, anything like that. But we weren't receiving any instructional work
Yeah.
for that hour.
Well, in my time, you got 6 hours, at least 6 hours a day of school time. If you um,
Okay.
if
By the
you
time we finish, we get less than 4 hours. Anyway, right? So if we start at 8 and we finish at 12:15 and we get half an hour break, right?
But
Right?
to be fair, subjects taught at the juniors are the English, the English language, the Spanish, the mathematics. What else we did? Art, principles of accounts, the accounting, right? Those things were transferred to the 5 year schools. Those are five subjects right there. You already had to be, 3 years of learning. What you didn't get at the St. Augustine girls was the agricultural science, the woodwork. I don't know if they do it now. You didn't get the home economics, which I opted out of because I told them I just cook every day. I don't need to learn it. I'd like to learn carpentry, woodwork. And they put me there. I was the first girl to go in woodwork because to me, I learned to cut and measure and, fractions, and it helped me with my math. So, but the agricultural science and stuff, it wasn't transferable. I picked up other things. The human and social biology, I picked up. I took human and social biology and something else they gave me. So you see, these subjects were transferable. That's what I'm saying. You didn't walk in blindly and oops, I gotta learn this from scratch. Right? So
Okay, so all right. So let's quickly go back to the chat. Sheldon says, my kids went to public school in PA, Council Rock District School. That was a good school. Eileen says, can people really be that ignorant that they don't care how they live? Once it's P&M instead of the UNC or vice versa?
unfortunately, highly, I think so. I think that's correct.
that's what Chocolate is saying. Yeah. Sheldon said they both got full right for academics. My daughter is a pediatrician and my son is an industrial engineer. Yeah, I mean,
you can take whatever is given to you and make it. What is you always say? Your circumstances may what? What's your quote?
your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become.
Thank you. Right? So my circumstances were a pause. Did I tell you the first day of my school at my day at St. Augustine, I walked into St. Augustine in my QX Junior Sec uniform. But nobody didn't prepare me, and nobody buy nothing for me. But I wanted to go to school. I walked in there, I figure I gotta go to school.
Academics is not for everybody.
You understand? I wanted to go to school. To me, school was my reprieve. School was my sense of joy. School was my stress-free zone. I didn't find school to be stressful at all. I found home to be stressful. So I couldn't wait to get to school.
Reggae Boys Warriors 4-1.
Huh?
No. I think that's something else. I think, but I think academics is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, there are some millionaires, there are some people who are YouTube influencers today that basically stop school in high school, stop high school, because they're already making millions of dollars. I watch a YouTube guy on YouTube. I call it Mr. Beast. I only learned of him yesterday. One of his videos alone does have 152 million views. Right? When you have 152 million views, right? You already a millionaire. Right? I have to figure out and see what school that guy went to. But there are YouTube influencers today making 6 figures just off of YouTube alone. Right? And some people decide, you know what is the sense of going to college for? Right? If I put my time into this, I could become a millionaire. And when you're a millionaire, you don't need a degree.
That too. I would like to open a medical marijuana shop in the state I in. We put them little white boys to run it. Mm-hmm. But In the chat here, Ellis said, but Diana, if you say our education isn't where it's supposed to, I never said that. Huh? How is it our students do better than a lot of USA students? And except because you want to, you have to, you want to. If you don't want to do good, you're gonna just languish in life. You have to want it, self motivation and determination for yourself.
But
You have to want it,
there are people who want to do good.
and they don't have the opportunity.
The teachers don't encourage them in order for them to do good. And I could give you an example. When my son was in public school, they had different levels. And he was in a level 4. They had 5 levels. He was on level 4 class. A teacher said to him that she thought he was teaching in class. He was cheating in class because she thought he was helping another student. And she wanted to move him from a higher level to a lower level because she thought he was cheating. Make it make sense. And not only that, but most of the black kids were in the lower level, not because they were dumb or unintelligent, it's because of the system. The system put them in the lower level. And Tommy knows that.
But what I've recognized too with children in school, if your parents are participating in your education, it gets you get your best out of them.
Correct is right.
Well, and not in all cases, Tommy.
In most cases.
Oh, so nobody participated in my education. I participated in my education. I decided I wanted better for myself.
Nobody.
I wait one moment. I wasn't going to scrunt and scratch and depend on somebody, that a man to hand me $5 when the week come. And when I would see my godmother working at the Oval, okay, I would see, when I went into a school like, St. Augustine Girls High, you see a stoic, upstanding principal like Anna Hayes, and you had a whole lot of female teachers that were upright, and they didn't bawl at you, but they let you know, hey, you are worthy, you can do this, you are somebody. That does a lot to you. Teachers, you can't be buffing children and insulting them too. You have to motivate them. In junior sec, I met a lot of what I don't want to say, opposition. You understand? To me, they were not encouraging. They were quick to cut your tail, quick to put a lash on you. And I did that, and, that was not encouraging to me. So perhaps in the schools, you need more, and you'll find that they will perform better, more engaged teachers. And what is going on with little Sally today? She was doing good last week. Suddenly she don't want to do good anymore. What's going on with Tommy today? Tommy, why are you sad? What happened? You need to be more engaged and not be so number driven, and and perhaps the children, you may get better response out of them. That's just, my opinion. Not saying I'm right.
So Sheldon, this is a very valid point, and just off of what you just said. There should be a system to screen kids for academic or technical skills. That's absolutely correct.
Right.
Because not everybody is a person who knows maths, who knows statistics,
Mm-hmm.
who knows the book. There are some people who have excellent technical skills, right? Hailey says the US beat Soca Warriors 7-0. Hailey 6-0. You see, Hailey is 6-0. Oh, you got extra goal?
Mm-hmm.
Like you scored a goal or what, Hailey? The USA beat Soca Warriors 6-0. Another thing that reached the garbage can bottom. The football is no longer. I agree with that. And actually, I actually went to the 2006 World Cup in Germany. That was a good experience. So the police going to return the money taken to do SS. I guess lots of people have their funds tied up there. Yeah, that return it. You might win the case. Sheldon say, what is the policy regarding that? I guess we are a little behind, Sheldon. The cop should be arrested and charged for misleading the public. You know anybody else get arrested in Trinidad, Sheldon?
Especially police.
Especially police. There's a role to protect and serve themselves.
They'll serve you a cocktail.
Yeah. He never told the truth ever. What is the percent of cancer survivors in Trinidad and Tobago? That is a good question, or not? So can you Google that question? What is the percentage of cancer survival in Trinidad? That's a great question.
I had a cousin who was diagnosed after my spouse. And
Yeah, walls, and the man lie with a
and
straight face, no filter. Yeah,
she only lasts 3 years.
yep. The man lie with a straight face, no filter, boy. Sheldon say Barbados. Yeah, Barbados.
Percentage of cancer survivors in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mhm. Yeah. Funny says Rowley didn't lie. You must listen to Pastor Google program. I could defend her, yet he was not selected as a candidate for the local election. Okay. Sheldon says Cuba might be number one in education in the medical. Yeah, I think in education, Cuba is number one. They produce the most doctors in the Caribbean. Sheldon, these are good point. The machine do it all by itself without trained staff. You know, yeah, you are the best machine in the world, right? But you are no trained staff. Yeah. Correct is right. Boy. Nadia said Tommy well said.
Nadia.
Trinidad Margot says, I do not hear any hate in your delivery. Facts don't lie. Reality has to hit some people sometime. Yeah, I mean, Trinidad Margot, I don't think in Trinidad we like facts, you know. Good question, answer. I don't think we like facts, you know. I think we like rumors and chaos to benefit our party. So, like for example, I hear a lady on a program in Trinidad. She say, I come in with my facts. And her facts is Dr. Rowley telling the country numbers. I mean, and I'm saying to myself, what kind of madness is that, boy? You know, you bring in information from Dr. Rowley and telling the people that it's facts. Really? So you could come and tell us Trinidad are one of the best cancer care in the world, and I'm supposed to believe you. And you tell the people that, you know, or I didn't make that up, you know. That's what the man said, right? That's what he said.
Right next to me there, within walking distance, is a line-up machine. You know what that means? It means that you can get the best cancer care in the world right next door to the hospital.
And they clapping.
Dr. Chaos, boy, best cancer care in the world right next door there. Wanna go? Right there. And that's facts. We're supposed to take that as facts because it comes from the Prime Minister. Eh?
People of Trinidad and Tobago, you see these lying politicians? It's a disease. The government is not closing down Petrotrin. It's a disease. I heard a UNC minister, I think it was the famous Prakash Ramadar, telling people that the PNM will bring back the dreaded property tax. Let me make it abundantly clear. The property tax has already been dealt with. So for anybody in the government now to be telling the population that this PNM coming into office will bring back that tax is the highest level of dishonesty. It's a disease. I'm a politician. Lying politicians. I'm a politician. It's a disease.
Facts don't lie. You may not like it. But facts don't lie. It doesn't lie. And we have to start dealing with facts. You know, we have to start dealing with facts. And don't worry about, you know, I mean, if you support the party, you know, and I want to tell people, I have never stopped loving the PNM. The PNM stopped loving me. I want people to know that. I never stopped loving the PNM. The PNM stopped loving me. And only know what happened when a person stopped loving you. Oh, God. Well, yes. Let me quickly go to the chat here. Diana Benskin says yes. Rishi Singh says yes. I'm an engineer today making $250K a month. So no need school, just ambition. There we go. Yeah. You don't need no school today. I mean, I teach at a school. Yeah? Sheldon said you had a reason because your parents did not spoil you. Yeah? Well, Sheldon said school was my way out of poverty. Yes. And school was my way too. Yeah? School was my way out of poverty. I am agreeing with that. But there are many other people, many other people, right, who didn't go to school and have done real well.
And
Real
school was my way of not becoming a statistic. I had to go to school. I had to uplift myself from what I saw growing up. I did not want to become a statistic.
So, folks, stick and stay. We're going to go for a quick station identification. Ellis says, I believe that junior sex were better because you were still taught a skill. Ellis, you're absolutely right. We were taught woodworking in junior sec. Yeah? Rishi Singh, me, never going to secondary school. Yeah, that people making real money. Ellis says, but Diana, if you say that our education isn't where it's supposed to be, how is it that students do better than a lot of USA students and also excel? Just ask it. All right, so when you come back, we're going to answer that. Let's go for a quick break. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets at WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. So stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
I think there are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people, and secondly, demoralize them. An educated, healthy, and confident nation is harder to govern. And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy, and confident because they would get out of control. The top 1% of the world's population own 80% of the world's wealth. It's incredible that people put up with it, but they're poor, they're demoralized, they're frightened, and therefore they think perhaps the safest thing to do is take orders and hope for the best. I think there are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people, and secondly, demoralize them. An educated, healthy, and confident nation is harder to govern. And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy, and confident because they would get out of control. The top 1% of the world's population own 80% of the world's wealth. It's incredible that people put up with it, but they're poor, they're demoralized, they're frightened, and therefore they think perhaps the safest thing to do is take orders and hope for the best.
We are back with you. Hey, Tommy, we had asked a question. Did you ever get that?
Let me do this. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the Caribbean, including the island of Trinidad and Tobago. The population of TT consists of over 1.3 million people with diverse ancestral and socio-cultural backgrounds, both of which may influence cancer, incidence, and mortality. The objective of this study was to examine incidence. Cancer mortality will increase by 67% during this period from 52,282 to 87,430 deaths. Nationals of African ancestry exhibited the highest rate of the cancer incidence rate of 243 per 100,000 per year, and mortality rate of 156 per 100,000 per year, compared to their counterparts of Indian ancestry, incidence rates of 125 per 100,000 per year, and a mortality rate of 66 per 100,000 per year.
Okay. So what does that all mean, Tommy?
Well, that's what that's what you see me doing here is trying to decipher it.
So Sheldon asked the question, the average kids in Trinidad can never be doing better academically than kids in America. So yeah, what it says. It says there's no clear consensus on whether the average kids in Trinidad are doing better academically than kids in the United States. Some studies have shown that Trinidadian students outperform their American counterparts in math and science, while other studies have shown the opposite. One study that found that Trinidadian students outperform American students was conducted by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. The study, which compared the academic performance of 15-year-olds in 72 countries, found that Trinidadian students scored an average of 521 in math, compared to an average of 493 for American students. Trinidadian students also scored an average of 580 in science, compared to an average of 496 for American students. However, another study conducted by the Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, found that American students outperformed Trinidadian students in math and science. The PISA study, which compared the academic performance of 15-year-olds in 70 countries, found that American students scored an average of 500 in math, compared to an average of 480 for Trinidadian students. American students also scored an average of 504 in science, compared to an average of 475 for Trinidadian students. It is important to note that both studies had their limitation. The OEC study only included students from Trinidad and Tobago, while the PISA study only included students from Trinidad and Tobago. Additionally, both studies were conducted several years ago, and it's possible that the academic performance of both students in both countries have changed since then. Overall, there is no clear evidence to suggest that the average kids in Trinidad are doing better academically than the kids in Trinidad in the United States. More research is needed to determine the true academic standing of students in both countries. So there you have it. It seemed like it's a standstill, right? So,
Anselm, briefly, I have to go move my car. The parking lot is clearing. I'm always in my assigned spot, right? So I'll say good night now.
okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what these two studies said. So it is a standoff, right? So Shalon said his kids was doing biochem and physics from elementary school. I don't know if it talk about the research taking into account financial status, but it was on both. I don't know if they said that report took into account financial status. But anyway, Shalon, Kapiza, Nadia, Rose, Mean Jean, if you're still there, Nadia, if you're still there, Hailey, Rennie, Rishi, put closing comments in the chat. Keisha, if you're still there, put closing comments in the chat. Ellis, if you're still there, put closing comments in the chat. You know, so I think what we try to do, Tommy. Eileen says, please answer. I know a couple students I had a higher grade than for all primary school except for common entrance air, and I know they did me wrong. Eileen, and you know, I mean, the okay, that's for the cancer. That's for the cancer. Yeah, yeah, and Nadia as well. Yeah, you know, Tommy, we just we just want to bring information for people, and when you get the information, don't take the information from the politicians. Do not take the information from the politicians, because if you have a politician telling you, standing up and telling you that we are the best, one of the best cancer care in the world, where do you get that from? And people, great job, great job, great job. That's my prime minister, boy, my prime minister, right? Please, we have to stop it. You know.
So I was telling you earlier, I had a cousin who went to high school with me. She had the same diagnosis as my wife, but her diagnosis probably came about 4 years after, and she probably lasts for the most 3 years.
Yeah, I mean,
My wife
I
is
have
10
to,
years.
my sister-in-law has breast cancer, and she been living with it now for years. It's years now, years. Next time we want to find out what is the cancer survival rate, right, in Trinidad when you compare it to other countries in the Caribbean, maybe.
I was reading, while I was doing the research, I was looking at something that said that they have a 67% rate of survival.
In
I don't
Trinidad
know.
and Tobago?
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I don't know um, who did it. You know, different people doing different studies. So I'm
Well,
gonna do some more research.
well, Tommy, I did some research and it tells me that um Barbados had the highest cancer cure rate in the Caribbean, with a 5-year survival rate of 64% for all cancers combined, followed by Antigua and Barbuda, which is 63%, St. Lucia is 62%, Dominica is 60%, and Grenada is 59%. Bahamas, Jamaica, and Cayman is 58, 57, and 56 respectively. I have to figure out where Trinidad falls in that. But Trinidad then is number 7 as far as cancer is concerned, cancer care is concerned. Right? Now, they have an example here. The 5-year survival rate for breast cancer in Barbados is 89%.
Look, I'm looking at something here. A study concludes that the survival rate is 74.3%.
In Trinidad?
Overall cancer incidence and mortality rates in Trinidad and Tobago.
I don't know. All right. So we
Different researchers have different data.
yeah, different researchers have different data. Correct is right. Correct is right. Yeah. Yeah. So folks, if it's one thing we can say to you, and we can say this without any fear or favor, that when you come in the village, at least you go get some statistics. You will get something. You will get some brain food. That's how we put it. You'll get some brain food and some brain enlightenment. And that's what we try to do here. Everything is not about politics all the time. I mean, I don't believe it had to be politics all the time, but we appreciate you and we try to bring you as much information, and we try to bring you breaking news as well. You see the guy from DSS, when it's 2 cases, and a man trying to make a honest living. If he was stealing people's money, I could understand. If people was busting on your door trying to get him money, but the man was trying to make a honest living, and but that was we boy Gary. That was Gary Griffith days, right?
Right.
Gary.
Let me make a correction. This is a 5-year breast cancer survival rate, 74.3%.
For Trinidad.
Yeah, because I mean that survey you did would have gone across all cancers.
Right. And Barbados is 89% for breast cancer.
Right.
And it makes sense because Barbados is number 1 as far as cancers is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my closing comment tonight is respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. So respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. From where I sit, this is it. The puck on the wall said, that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. And remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. See you. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Later.
Yeah. Well, this is Independence Day, so it's liberty, and a lack of liberty is like a body without a soul. I don't know if I said it right, but it's something that I looked at earlier. However, like I always say, the changes that you want begins with you, the man in the mirror. But if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, don't blame the mirror. Again, enjoy this day. Those of you who are here in the United States, enjoy your 4th of July. Be safe out there. And we'll see you at the next session. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Remember, love is the key. Love you all.
Thank you, Tommy. Take care. Okay, Sheldon says peace and love. Thank you, Sheldon. Take care. Nadia says, bless, good night, everyone. Stay safe. Thank God for life, giving me the health and strength and courage. Blessing all. You know, we had to get Nadia in to give us, you know, I mean, just give us a little synopsis of what it's like, you know, in a school in Trinidad and Tobago in 2023. You know?
Nadia should join us in the village one of these.
Yeah. She had to join us, man. We don't want, we just want to give us a scenario, a synopsis of how things are, you know? Ellis says, my comment, people will disappear when you're going through it, but then reappear when you get through it. Don't show up when I blow up. Keep the same energy. Thank you, Ellis. Eileen says, when morning comes, awake and live in love and kindness. When night comes, lay yourself down to sleep with trust, belief, and hope in God. Good night. The blessing of the Lord be upon you all. Thank you, Hailey. Ken John says, good night, Rose, Celestine, blessing, be safe, shalom, Mayim Tahorim. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ken John says, good night, everyone. Be safe. Ansem, Diana, and Tommy, shalom.
Thank you.
I didn't see Eugene, but.
Eugene's out celebrating Independence Day.
Yeah. Rose says, pray for the betterment of the country. Pray for change for the betterment of the citizens. Good night and be safe, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, bless good night to you as well, Nadia. And we're going to go out tonight with Preacher. I love my country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trinidad. I pledge, know that she needs me. I will work hard. I pledge to serve my country, to give her a brand new start. I pledge my love for the auntie. All my heart, yeah, boom shogolo bongo dong, 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 yeah, boom shogolo bongo dong. Now everywhere I turn, people saying, Lord, things hard in Trinidad. Yes, everywhere I turn, all I hear in God, things bad in Trinidad. They running away to their foreign countries. Lord, they doing for them what they should do for we. They telling me that I should go out there. No way, Jose, because I pledge to serve my country, Tobago and Trinidad. I pledge, now that she needs me, I will work hard. You abuse her when things was nice. Now you're crying, Lord, things hard in Trinidad.
will rise again. TNT will rise again.